All rise. Relly and Teach, ready to preach. You may be seated. On a serious note, I have been dying to try this. I teach.
Yeah.
It fell off the truck. And by that, Britt, who is in the audience and the first person to comment, thank you so much for this wonderful gift. I'm cherishing this and I cannot wait. Hearing all good things.
I may have found a local place that I guess has it over. So one marathon had it, but none of the other marathons around me have it. I don't know why. So I picked a couple up over the weekend, and I did try it ahead of time. I had to.
I understand. And I got to tell you, thank you for getting me into Lemonade Teach because it's been an absolute blast.
Now, the real question, do you want to save the best for last, or do you want to start with it?
Oh, let's start with this, man.
You want to start with it?
Yes.
All right.
So, just to let everybody know, I'm going to say this in my best Southern accent possible. We're going to save that country time lemonade. Loving it. All right.
Let's see if really makes my tweet come true.
Oh yeah, it's definitely country time lemonade, but now it's just like, how are they gonna? It's kind of like, anything that comes in powder, you gotta get the ratio right.
Oh, I've tried this. I'm gonna happily sip this throughout the rest of the stream and the rest of tonight. I'll give you my full review and rating and everything. The smell is on point.
Oh well, goddamn.
Now here's the weird thing, but it's true. If you're a fan of lemonade, and if you've ever had country time lemonade, you know there's a difference between like genuinely made lemonade and country time powder. It tastes spot on.
Whale.
This tastes very spot on to actual straight up country time lemonade. Ryse did a phenomenal job.
This tastes like a real authentic lemonade. Now, I'm actually again, Britt's a Southerner. So, Britt, tell everybody in the comments, as a Southerner, how does this go to regular traditional lemonade? Because the New England Dells lemonade is definitely much different. It's just like tart and too sweet for me. I'm not a big fan, but down south, it's a cultural staple, just like it is with certain sweet teas.
Well, the thing for down south is that you have naturally made lemonade. Country time is a powdered form of lemonade, and this tastes exactly like the powdered form of lemonade, but in a can.
And the carbonation's low, so it doesn't make it weird. Like, I'm usually like one of those, like, remember I told you that G Fuel makes the hype sauce cans, but when it's more lemon forward, I hate it. Because it tries to shoot for an actual lemonade, and with the carbonation and stuff, it's just no good.
Bing, ding, 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 ding. I need a sound effect so I can play it there. Really, you just activated the redemption of the tweet I just made about episode 67 tonight.
Hold on, I gotta see this.
We don't bucket the sugar in our lemonade.
Oh, you mean this is you, Teach?
You mean this is me?
Oh, I thought you meant the other page. Let's see. The tweet you just made about it 67?
Yeah.
This is on your Twitter, right?
No, it's on our Twitter.
All right, let me see that.
I'm saying you were tagged in it too.
Oh, there we go. The fact that I'm liking carbonated lemonade, wow.
This can is stupendous. Honestly,
Mr. Chris Stone, Southern man, big fan of the show. If you are out by a GNC or anything else, please, Mr. Southern Man, I
got
need you
GNC.
to try this.
Vitamin Shop.
I'm gonna message him right now and say he needs to try this. He's probably working, but hey.
So the weird thing is like when I say this is in my top 5 Ryse cans, it's kind of weird because they don't technically have an absolute ton, but it's still a valid thing. And this is easily within my top 5, and I think this may be top 3.
Okay, so top 3 out of the 6.
I think they have 7, don't they?
In the can?
Baja, Tigers, Blood, Smarties, Sunny D's, Kool-Aid, Ring Pop. Now Lemonade.
Oh yeah, you're right. 7. I mean, for me, it goes. I want to say Baja, and then I don't know where to put the other ones. I really don't.
For me, it would have to be Baja, Ring Pop, Lemonade, Ryse, Country Time. Followed by like Kool-Aid and Sunny D. They're tied for 4th.
You're probably gonna put Smarties on the bottom, I imagine, right?
Tiger's Blood.
That's right. You don't like the coconut. Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. So with that said, I mean, quick, easy, and who knows, that might be a chaser for what's coming up here.
Well,
So-
really, let's dig into it now. We don't got to rush on past it. What's your thoughts on it? What's your review? Give me the content in case I decide to
damn, I
post it
forgot
on
to give a
TikTok.
review. I'm so sorry.
You were all hyped to hop into Ulti. We can wait on Ulti because I got a feeling on it.
my
so
bad,
we
man.
can take our time.
I'm just off today. My bad. Let's see. Me, my mind is just moving too forward. I have no idea. So, for everybody listening while I try and get my shit in order, Ryse Country Time Lemonade. To my surprise, 4 stars out of 5. It may not be the best to some, but could this be a flavor for everybody? Close.
So
Very
Ryse
good.
Country Time Lemonade. It tastes dead spot on to powdered Country Time Lemonade, and I highly recommend this can. They did a phenomenal job. Ryse is killing it with the collabs yet again. This is an easy 8.5 out of 10 for me. Like, it's stupid good.
So, anytime that Teach goes 8 or above, it's worth noting something. That's for goddamn sure.
You know I'm a lemonade guy, and like, if I ever drink something lemonade-wise, I'm not going out and getting Country Time lemonade powder. But in a can form, there is plenty of room for this to have errors, and I don't know. Honestly, I'm just gonna say it. Ryse needs to be given more credit than what they deserve, because they put actually, like, if you follow their content, they put a lot of time and effort into their sampling process and making of their flavors. They will send so many back if they don't even feel it's like 100% right. If something's just slightly off, they're like, nope, it's not good enough. Take it back. Let's get a new rendition. They are killing it on the collabs. Also, what other companies having this big of like collabs and they're knocking them out of the park? Country Time.
All considering, I mean,
Ring Pop,
Smarties, no
Sunny
one would
D.
think of, nailed. Kool-Aid, nailed. Sunny D, nailed. Tiger's Blood, if you're into it, I heard good
collab,
things. Baja Blast,
Not a collab, but they hit it out of the park.
not a collab, but would you prefer that over Mountain Dew Baja Blast Diet?
So I do love Zero Baja Blast, but I feel like that's way two different ballparks, because like if we're just saying like, hey, as a caffeine source, yeah, I'm gonna take this all day, because like this has more caffeine. It's gonna keep me going over the 70.
What about your own leisure?
I'd probably go actual Baja Blast because there's just something different about kicking back with a Mountain Dew, playing games. I do love Baja Zero.
I can't knock that. I can't knock that.
There is Zero Baja Blast. It does exist. You can find it pretty easily. Also, if you go to any majority of Taco Bells, also serve Baja Zero. So, I should state that as for the record too.
Yeah, I've never seen Baja Zero in like the cans at like my Walmarts, but again, I hate saying it, but my Walmarts suck real bad. Especially when everybody, like all the plugs will say like, "Hey, I found this at my Walmart." And I'm just like, "Great, mine is still stuck in, 2008 outside of Red Bull flavors. Outside that, they're stuck in 2008. Maybe 2012, but still, they're 10 years behind the dime."
Well, like my marathon that gets a lot of stuff, they sell Ryse, but they don't have these. But another marathon, like 10 minutes from my work, had these, and I was surprised. My Walmart was selling these, and now they don't sell any Ryse anymore. They sell like the pre-workout and whatnot, but they don't sell the cans. And then the Walmart across the street from that same marathon sells Ryse still. So I don't know what the deal is.
I hate that, especially I had a gas station and a CVS. They had G Fuel cans, but once they sold out of them, they never got them again. It was just like a one-off to see how it went. I guess it didn't do well or something.
Like I almost genuinely want to hit up my marathons and be like, "Yo, let me buy some cases of Ryse." Like, I would really like. I almost wish these were 300 milligram cans.
Because that would be basically in your top 5 rotation, I would imagine.
But like, even here's the weird thing, because it's like on topic with that as I bring that up. I feel like I can drink a G Fuel 300 milligram can and it does nothing. And I feel like I can drink this 200 milligram can and I actually feel like I can get a kick out of it.
Actually, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm feeling a little bit of a kick from this.
Yes. And I think that goes a long way to say, because I will use that as a segment to go into my next part. Really, you already know this, and if you guys pay attention to our Twitter, you also kind of know this as well. Let me grab it all real quick.
I can't wait.
I mean, you already know what it is. Because speaking of drinking something other than G Fuel and actually feeling like you have some energy to you, I was sent a very kind package, finally, from Jordan, the team over at Drink Freshen Up. Thank you again, Jordan and the team at Freshen Up. It was a kind pleasure to get this care package from you guys, especially this red shaker. Looks real hot. The camera makes it look more orange, and I guess these sold out real quick. Real quickly schplick.
When they restock those, I gotta get myself one.
And as well, I won't be reviewing them tonight. We'll save it for next week's episode. But I am excited because they sent me a blue, because they changed the name, Sour Blue Raz can. They just released cans. And
mine's on back order.
Starter, their little starter pack, I guess you'll call it, which is War Cherry, Fruit Punch, Mango Hydration, and then Blueberry Hydration.
Yes, indeed.
So, thank you again, Jordan, Freshen Up. But I bring this into a topic because I have only tried the Raven's Blood. Really, to segment both topics together, what is your thoughts on Raven's Blood again?
So, I actually had it just recently. I believe it was 2 days ago. It kind of has this, it's a strawberry, but it's kind of, I guess, like a artificial candy type strawberry. My first thought was a 4 stars out of 5, but after trying it for a little while, sitting on it, I'll go 3.5 out of 5 stars. I like it. It's nice to have a strawberry in the market by itself. Not bad. It's a decent comfort flavor. And what about you, Teach? I think you're gonna either like it or think it's just okay.
So I'm gonna be real on it. And again, um, thank you to Jordan and the team. In no way was them sending me or Relly in any care packages anyway. Changing our reviews or our biases or anything. So we do dearly appreciate it. Any company that sends us stuff, we appreciate the sentiment, but that's not going to change our review or our biases. Now, on the record, I'm not saying it because like I'm just going to dog shit on it, because I'm not dog shitting on this, but I do think it is a good tub. It's a pretty decent strawberry. I did it with 1 scoop. You get the strawberry, but the weird thing to me is it feels like has a chalky texture, but there's no chalkiness, and I think that's the biggest thing I want to give Freshen Up credit for. Of course, I don't have it mixed up right now. Out of any of the companies I've ever seen where they make the claim of like, oh, you're gonna mix this up and there's no chalkiness to it, it's all residue, and it's like you let it sit and there's still gonna be chalkiness at the bottom. You mix up Freshen Up, and I like dead serious, it was clearer than clear. There was no chalkiness to it. There's no left after. Like, it just easily broke down and mixed up. Fantastic on that. And they need credit where credit's due on that. 10A+. But saying that, it's like, maybe it's just my taste buds, but I felt like I was getting like, maybe it's a strawberry candy. It just felt like it had a... My mind made the connection of some kind of chalky taste, but there was no actual chalkiness to it. And maybe it's like a candy factor, but the strawberry itself was there. I found I got the best strawberry taste when I did 2 scoops. And for the joke of it for Relly, I even did half a scoop. And that, of course, was just straight water. Just an actual half a scoop.
Well, I mean, sometimes with the blueberry hydration, because I got a tub of it, I mean, the stuff is... Every hydration formula is very strong, in my opinion. Like this morning, I did half a scoop of blueberry in 24 ounces. So Jordan, who's in the audience, I think we're going to try the cans when I get my order of cans in. Ooh, that's what it is. Strawberry cream vanilla flavor.
Well, then that changes. I feel like I need to like re-review it then. Retry it then.
That changes it up, because I thought it was just regular strawberry. I was thinking that was a regular strawberry.
Yeah, but again, my rating on this is I give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's a very good strawberry, and I cannot preface this enough, because I think it needs to be said, and it needs to be said loud and clear. Many companies out there are going to tell you the product has no chalkiness. You let it shake up, you let it mix around, and you get residue, or you can see it spiraling around. This was clear as day. Like, it was see-through water, but with color. Like, this broke down. There was no chalkiness. You could let it sit, and there was no, like, nothing at the bottom of your shaker. Big credit where credit's due here.
So just to let everybody know, here's the way that I put Freshen Up. No dyes, no gimmicks. That is the best way to put it, because the hydration is regular in my rotation, and I always forget the name of it. Let me look it up right now. It is the Carbon Collab flavor. It is Tangy Explosion. And that, Teach, I have a sample to Bry, and I gave a sample to Jake. We're going to see how they feel about that.
And again, we will be trying the can at a later date. And then again, I have these samples to try next week as well. But again, thank you, Jordan and the team at Freshen Up, for sending me the care package. Really does mean a lot.
Very interesting, Jordan.
It is a hot shaker. I'm sorry to everybody who wanted one of these off their store and didn't get one. They restock, definitely get them, because it's a very hot red shaker. And like the single black with this looks good too. They didn't go over like the color wave and their logo.
Oh, simple and clean, man. Simple.
I think that just says the entire thing about their brand. Simple and clean.
Simple, clean, no dyes, no gimmicks. What more can you ask for? Absolutely.
Oh, now I remember. I was segueing into the thank you of Freshen Up, because the one thing that when I tried the 1 scoop, like initial first try of the Raven's Blood, and I say this to many people that care about what they put into their body, I want you to go have a shaker G Fuel, and I want you to go have a shaker Freshen Up. I will bet money. I will bet $20 you actually feel energy, you feel cleaner, and you feel a lot better after drinking this. You're going to drink that shaker.
Does make a difference.
It does.
It really does.
110%. I can honestly say I drank a full shaker of this before I left for work, and I felt energized. I felt actually like I had a bit of an energy kick, which I haven't felt that in quite some time. Again, I have a high caffeine tolerance, but still, it says a lot to me when I can have a shaker of this and I actually feel something from it. While said company behind me that I own way too goddamn much of is basically just water flavoring at this point.
I mean, we could always talk about them, but I mean, the one thing is that we hate Teach is when they start getting a little gimmicky. So they had a flavor that was with Rainbow Six Siege that was blackberry, pear, and vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
And today, they just came out with the flavor. Remember they did the Queen of Hearts tub?
And what better time to do on the last day of BOGO
than to add a king with a sword and call it blackberry apple. Now, I just think that's a little too similar. I have no idea how it's going to work. If you do not like the heavy dye, which I think they'll probably have it in there, it's not for you.
It's blackberry, so it's definitely going to have a dye. And the other thing is like it.
No, heavy dye is what I mean. There's regular dye, but then it's like the black dye they use. It's like the red 40, the yellow 6, and the blue 1. Like it's just too much all in one time. And if nobody knew this, it happened when Black on Blackberry first came out. Don't be pooping grain.
I always want to give credit where credit is due to any company, but it's kind of like at some point they've just made so many flavors and they're kind of just like, well, we already have so much steam. They're buying product 2-4 tubs a month. We got to keep it going. They're just like, all right, throw the flavors in the manatee tank and see what flavors the manatees like throw out of the ball. And their manatee was like, all right, blackberry, all right, apple. And they're like, well, we don't know if this is going to work, so let's just smash them together.
So question, because we talked about this last episode, is G Fuel starting to do what Bang does where they say, hey, we're going to take fruits, we're going to take candies, we're going to take something else, and we're going to throw darts?
I mean, kind of in a way, and it goes both ways. It is good to be innovative and definitely try new kind of flavors and experiment and see what things complement each other. And then at some points, it's just kind of like, all right, when do we need to take a step back? Because like blackberry apple, that does not sound good to me. Those things they sound like they clash.
I'm thinking the same thing. It's like maybe it's going to be blackberry forward. And I think the sweetness from the apples maybe going to mellow out the tartness to it. But the blackberry, pear, and vanilla, I got blackberry, a very slight pear, and I thought it was a disappointment.
Now, again, I haven't tried any like the past 6 to 8 months worth of G Fuel flavors because I just don't buy the product anymore.
Well, you're gonna have to get reviews from me and Jake at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to just get some samples from Jake because I'll still have to review it for the podcast.
I mean, if there's anything worth noting, I would let you know. I'd be like, Teach, this is worth noting. Well, I mean, at the end of it, I would just say stick to the mango lemonade that you got, and that was probably your last G Fuel order. The last thing I ordered from G Fuel, honestly, was hydration tubs, but that was before that was before we met Jordan.
I say, yeah, the last thing I definitely for sure bought was mango lemonade because support shock, but mango lemonade just sounds banger, and it was a banger flavor, admittedly. And we also had shock in the show, which we never thought that happened in a million years.
And we bought that before we even knew he was on the freaking show.
Correct.
And he read all the reviews and during the stream, and he actually, I put in our honest review, and a couple of guys were happy about it. There's some guys there really love shock, and kind of goes from there.
Did I buy peach mango? Surprisingly not.
Ooh, you see, here's what happened. So Bri in the audience, I actually made a trade with him, and I made it worth his while. So what I did was I sent him some freshen up samples. I sent him a Advanced GG It was the melon cream pop sample, which, by the way, I have a review for that. And it was the G Fuel Fortune Blend. I had a spare sealed tub of that, and that was what I traded for the peach mango box.
I did not buy it because I don't care to honestly give G Fuel any more of my money, and I kind of wish I could sell this entire collection, but after what happened last summer, it's so hard for people to move that product nowadays.
Oh, so just a heads up, everybody. I just got a message. This is from a CEO. So what we're going to do, hey, Teach, that do you have the Twitter on your PC by any chance?
Yeah.
So link the invite to Chuck.
Oh, is this happening?
He says, I'm trying to get back in time, might be a little late.
I say, I hope you're prepared and ready, because I was not prepared and ready to have him on.
You see, I wasn't prepared and ready because he hasn't responded in days. But listen, don't quote us, people, at least the people that are live, but we might have our second CEO on the show.
And, I think that was the best thing that, Jordan brought up when he was on the show is, these other big companies, why aren't their CEOs willing to come on?
Well, guess what? We found two. But Jordan, I will say, but by the base of what I'm reading here, Jordan has a better product. Jordan's a very good guy, but we work on constructive criticism here, and we call it down the best way I can.
Now I'm biased.
At the end of the day, how could I say that Jordan doesn't have a better product when there's no melted dextrin in here and no dyes where there isn't this alone? And as far as the dosage, if you go by percentage wise, let's see, B6 470%, B12 834%. Always called expensive P.
He'll be the CEO of Ulti, which they are a relatively new company.
2 flavors at the moment, but there's a couple of things that were in the messages. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share them. Hopefully he will on the show, but we will find out. So in the meantime, I put something on Twitter last night because Bri, a very regular person in our audience, put this. So I gave him a sealed tub. I gave him a sample of the Raven's Blood. I gave him a sample of the Tangy Explosion. And he seems to be digging freshen up. And he did buy what tubs did he buy? He bought Bossberry and Cherry Blossom as well. He bought tubs of that. So when I told him, I just kind of said to this, listen, man, take a metal shaker, put 14 ounces of water, throw the bag in, let sit for an hour. And he goes, all right, I'm going to shower, everything else. And he actually cheated. He took a sip and he goes, what is it? What is that? And I said, funny you should ask. And he goes, this is the Advanced GG Melon. And I said, yes. And he goes, how did they do that? How did they do that? So essentially, from what we found out, G Fuel tried a melon flavor 3 times. 51, Rage Drive, and I believe it was... what was the other one?
The one?
Gundam.
Oh, Gundam, yeah. Melon Review.
Yes. So essentially, he thought this is... you know how everyone says mid? Now, I'm not sure about you, but when I was in elementary school, if you had a test that was underneath the 70, you had to bring it home to your parents and get signed so they know how you did.
Remember, 60% still passing. The D is still passing.
So this is between So if this was a straight up 60 or a 59, what do you think?
I mean, in general, G Fuel can't do melon, so it's probably an F.
So what I'm saying is G Fuel tried melon 3 times, sucked all 3 times. Advanced GG made their melon once, and they knocked it out of the park. Took a while, but yes. Jordan, it's very funny you say that. I actually saw the intro to this video, and they're actually made in Missouri, which, if I know where these are being made, this seems to be one of the major factories that produce multiple brands. And if I'm correct, they also produce Gamer Supps, Juju, and I believe possibly Glitch Eye. Is that possible? Let me double check on that.
In other news, a good reason to stay up to date with our Twitter, if you aren't already following us on Twitter, is because we do always post when companies are having sales in some way. So St. Patty's Day, a bunch of companies are doing BOGOs or sales of some kind, so we retweeted a bunch. And this just in today, just now seeing it on our feed as of 3 hours ago. And Relly, you'll like this. Juju is having a flash sale today. Everything is 15% off. Spring 23. And then Advanced GG looks like it's bringing back their super stretchy ice shaker, 36 ounces. And how do you stretch a shaker? I don't know, but apparently it just means, hey, we made our shaker taller and bigger.
So essentially, it's a 36-ounce shaker.
Yeah.
Where the regular ice shaker here, this comfortably holds 20. So it's just this 36-ounce shaker. And instead of it going out like this, it's actually it's got an hourglass shape, so you could hold it better.
No, it doesn't have an hourglass. It's just tall. It's a tall boy.
Oh, it's just taller.
It's just tall.
But I actually said the one time, like, Jordan, one day this ice shaker is gonna be a freshen up shaker. I think he could do it. Could he make it just? Can he make a shaker that's cheaper than $45-$50? I think
believe
he could.
I believe Rogue is still doing their sale today. I know Glitch Y had a flash sale yesterday for 35% off, and then St. Patty's it was 30.
Advanced GG's having a BOGO event right now that lasts today and tomorrow up until probably like 3 o'clock.
Which I will also say there are a few viewers and Relly especially as well that may have had some glitch with the Y falling off the truck for them. So
really. Whoa. Metal shakers under $30 easy? Dude. That's amazing. Well, you got a customer right here because he's got market and he doesn't want to spend $45 on a shaker.
Yep, looks like Advanced still doing a BOGO of focus and energy for the next 48 hours. Or 44 technically.
Something like that. Also, I gave Jordan this message because we posted this on our Twitter. This was sometime, I think this was last week on Tuesday. So this was an old email sent out to all MAW Energy partners.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, again, nobody had codes. You had a link that you had to either put in your bio or link somebody. They had to click that exact link, and then they would trace that link to, I think, your IP address, and then you get a 10% commission. Which, again, bullshit thing for not doing the code. But they said after X amount of time, their affiliate codes will be 0 commission. Essentially saying that MAW is going under. That MAW Energy is going out of business.
Let's not push it that far now. Let's not put too many words in their mouth. But it's signs of things happening. We're not saying they're going out of business.
And there's only 3 flavors on the site outside the bundle. But who knows? There's been times where I've ordered something from Maw. They said they didn't have it, and then they had to give me a refund. Because I don't understand the trouble of actually going like on your site. It's like, hey, we no longer sell blue light glasses. Okay, then take the glasses tab off your site. Apparel, we don't have apparel anymore. Take it off your freaking site. Mouse pads, we don't have any. Take it off your freaking site. Not hard. Not hard at all. So watch. They used to have a good amount of flavors, but the fact that Jungleberry's not on there anymore, which I think was better than Phaseberry at one point. But my thought is that means that Arctic Howl, I mean, that grapefruit runs dry. There's no substitute to that G Fuel pink grapefruit. But again, when you cut off your affiliates, who you didn't give them a code to begin with, which is an absolute fugaze. Let's be real. Teach. Hypothetically, if Glitch never gave you a code, they said, have everybody click this link. Is that more complicated?
No.
No?
No.
Where if they don't click that exact link, you don't get nothing?
That's not more complicated. It means I, as the individual, have to put more effort in to make sure, hey, you need to use this link if you're trying to help support me. It is definitely easier to just tell somebody, hey, at checkout, use my code. I don't think a link is necessarily more complicated.
I think it is, because it kind of just goes like this. Like if anyone goes onto the website, right? Like I could go into my browser right now and just go glitch energy, glitch with the Y. And it does what it does. It'll just give me a generic discount code instead of, hey, it would be really nice if I could use a creator code right now. Like, what gives?
Now, the thing I will say about Glitch that I do enjoy is, for an easy example, they did their their flash sale Sunday for 35% off. In no way does my code ever get up to be 35% off on products, right? But if I send people my link, my referral link, like the actual link that you're talking of, and they put in that code through that, I then get a kickback. And it's not that hard for me to send somebody a link.
So we got one from Chuck. He said, sorry, guys. Definitely going to be closer to 8 o'clock Central Time. I'm a single dad and got my kids for spring break. They are slow. So my thought is this, my darling Teach. You want to double down?
What you mean double down?
Huh. Did you want to do a let's see, a 67.5?
What are you talking about?
Well, considering it would be an hour from now. Did you want to take a break and then have him back on, or reschedule, or?
I just messaged him and said if he wants to reschedule, he can. If he'd prefer tonight, we can do whatever to get him on, whatever he prefers. I already messaged him back.
Wait, you messaged him back? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm seeing that. I just saw that right now. All right. So, no matter what happens, you want to...
I mean, we might as well, if we got the time then, we might as well try out Ulti first then.
And then ask questions later.
I mean, I already put in my response to being like, hey, we want to know more about Ulti and ask the hard-hitting questions customers may have.
So I actually like it here where it says 12 to 16 ounces. So I wonder how that's going to go. I got a couple packets, and also they're doing a thing right now where they'll actually give you 5 free packets. All you got to do is pay the shipping.
It's good. Which one we going with first? Lemon drop or blue raz?
Something tells me blue raz.
Okay.
Now, again, I have said this on this show for the longest time.
It's just a
Every
comfort
powder
flavor.
company seems to make a blue raz.
You can't blame them. Everybody loves the blue raz. It's an easy go-to. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like a blue raspberry? Every company's gonna make it.
Well, my thought is there's some that make it better than others. Like for me,
Well, that's a different topic.
there's one company in particular, when it's not close to the expiration date, I prefer it. Reason I say that is because the tub apparently hits expiration date soon, and it tastes different than when I first got it.
You can tell I've been glitch long enough now that I can open up this packet and smell the new level.
Yes. Yes, you can.
So for reference, we are trying Ulti Energy. The first one here is Blue Raspberry. To give you guys the quick and skinny of everything on the back and what you may be looking at and looking for. They are this packet is one serving, 14 grams, 30 calories, 6 carbohydrates, 0 sugar, 20 milligrams of niacin, 8 milligrams of B6, 20 micrograms of B12, 600 milligrams of choline, 1,600 milligrams of new level, 1,000 milligrams of taurine, 1,000 milligrams of L-tyrosine, 206 milligrams of green coffee extract for caffeine, and then 200 milligrams of L-carnitine, and then 100 milligrams of theanine. Again, they advertise they are sugar-free, organic caffeine, vegan-friendly, clinically dosed, and soy-free. Now, in other ingredients, and they are honest about it, they does include maltodextrin, natural and artificial flavoring, citric acid, sucralose, silicone dioxide, and FD&C Blue 1.
Here's a good question from Jordan. How many companies would undergo a lot of issues if New Level just went under and stopped providing their trademark ingredient for these companies? Imagine that adjustment. Well, imagine being Advanced GG, where apparently they think it's a trademark.
Where they advertise they're the only ones with that trademark?
Yeah.
And Glitch would probably just still make the same formula, but just cut it.
So when you smell this blue raspberry, tell me if this reminds you of something.
Like is mixed up or the powder?
Mixed up. Because in the pouch, I smell nothing. Mixed up, I smell something very, very familiar. I know that because I had it today.
Yeah, it's a new level. It's that new level smell. You can tell.
The company I'm referring to doesn't have the new level.
If anything, that my science has been messed up the past couple days, but if anything, this reminds me of Glitch with the Y.
It reminds me of the Juju Blue Raspberry, man.
My senses must be messed up, but all I can smell is like that aroma that like I just typically smell from new level products.
Yeah, your
like
smell's off then because, dude, I kid you not, I smell Juju Blue Raz, but minus the potency. But because they're manufactured in the same place, there's no doubt about it.
Now, here's one thing I do want to be way more critical on companies for. And I think there's a few companies that are really good about this, but I think it's really one thing to be starting to pointing out. And this is a black shaker, so it doesn't really do it justice. But how well does this actually mix up? It is decently foamy. We got some nice head. Now that's a nice head right there.
Well, I mean, you could see the foam on top of the shaker part right here, huh, Teach? You see that little the bubbly on top? A wee bit foamy. That's one thing I also give credit for Jordan. Freshen Up does not foam.
I don't think there's any necessarily thing wrong with foam or a foaminess.
Well, you hope that foam isn't from like some sort of ingredient or so. But you ready for this?
Yeah, without further ado, a Blue Raspberry by Ulti.
Cheers.
It's actually not bad. Now, did you do a 16?
Yes.
Same.
I will say, if I were to do this again, I'd probably put it in 14.
See, I always put everything in 16 because I feel like everything just needs a straight, like, you need a common denominator.
Well, I agree. So what happens is certain flavors, like the Advanced GG peach iced tea, the Advanced GG melon cream pop, just certain flavors like that, certain light flavors. See, 16 is what you start with. And then I'm thinking to myself, if I were to try this again, is this good as is or do I change it? There's some flavors where I say, hey, start with 10 ounces and work your way up. If I think it's light, I tell people to start with a certain amount and add 2 ounces at a time. I would go 14 ounces if I were to try this again, but not bad.
Yeah, honestly, it's not bad. In a weird sense, I don't know if it's sciences being off, but I feel like they're half right on their flavoring because to me, it's definitely blue raspberry, but I almost want to call it like a blue raspberry cotton candy. Like it has a sweet, it kind of has a sweet note to it.
So here's the thing. I think Juju's is much more stronger and potent, but this to me is Juju's little brother. This is Juju Blue Raz's little brother. I promise you that. And if anyone who I've sent a Juju sample to, please let me know, because that is a top 2 Juju flavor. It's the bomber pop, then the Blue Raz.
So again, I am not a fan of it having maltodextrin. I have moved away from companies that have that. Going to Glitch, not G Fuel. Thankfully, Glitch Y doesn't have it. Many other companies are starting to move away from it.
I think it's just. I think the only companies without maltodextrin in it is Freshen Up, Dubby, and
Glitch.
Advanced GG does not have maltodextrin, but for some reason they have dyes. Why? I don't get it.
Again,
Literally, though,
maltodextrin.
if they get rid of the dyes, Advanced GG is really gonna amp themselves up top.
Maltodextrin isn't the worst thing possible. I'd rather see maltodextrin something than dyes. But honestly, though, I was very skeptical because a lot of times you see that like new brand trying to emerge, and you know the labeling and everything, it's kind of clean, but it still gives me that like Glitch Eye feeling. And I was expecting to have a Glitch Eye experience, and I'm pleasantly surprised I didn't. It is a blue raspberry. I get a little bit more of a sweeter note to it. It kind of has like a vitamin-y aftertaste in a way. Like I can tell there's definitely a coating. But overall, I'd give it a 7. It's not bad. I was pleasantly surprised. It's not the best blue raspberry I've ever tasted, but it's certainly not bad.
Well, I mean, as far as regular Blue Raz flavors, and I say regular because there's some Blue Raz variants. Some are candied. Mega Man is cream. It's got that vanilla in there.
Would you rate Ulti's blue raspberry?
So I rate Juju's 5-star. I rate this one 4-star.
See, I don't get Juju out of this. I think Juju has a better blue raz.
Absolutely, but I mean that to me, I get the same reminiscence from it.
It's thick in color, but it looks pretty like see-through. Doesn't look chalky. Oh, wait a second.
You got flakes on the bottom, don't you?
I think I do got a little bit of. I got a tiny little bit. Tiny little bit.
I got some flakes on the bottom of this lemon drop myself. It looks like I got some of the stuff floating on the bottom.
Now, this one between the two, I will admit, I'm a bit more excited to try.
So the reason why I'm excited to try this, and this is how I found this company, is because nobody right now at least makes a lemon drop flavor. So basically everybody knows that it means lemon heads, but you can't really trademark, you can't really say lemon heads. You can't go lemonade, you can't go candy lemonade, you can't go, you gotta put its own category in the sort. Okay.
The packet
Smell
has a good
test.
smell
What do you
to it.
got? It smells like lemon head candy and lemonade at the same time.
I hope it still have some lemonade to it.
No, I mean it's both. It's lemon head candy and lemonade.
Oh, that smells so good. Ugh.
So
I just want this aroma everywhere.
yeah, this is.
I feel like I'm
good.
having some 40-year-old Karen right now telling me I need to smell this essential oils to get this headache to go away. That's that like reminiscing lemony citrus smell right here. This is good. The smell is great.
Absolutely, it's a very good lemon.
It is, and I'm excited to try it.
All right, cheers, man. Huh. It's lemonade, and then you get the lemon head candy. This is what I was searching for a while. This does the job.
Kinda to me. Like, they're correct on the flavor profile. It is a lemon head. You definitely get that lemon up front. You get a little bit of that candiness on the afternote. Maybe not saying dislike it, but maybe I'd like it just a tad bit more if I tried it with less water, but I always feel like a common denominator 16 ounces of water has to be a must. It seems a little light. It just seems a little light. And I just want a little more. And I'm finding that with a lot of companies, I just want that little bit more flavor.
I think I'm good on my end. But this is another 4-star out of 5 for me.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to say because it's not bad. It's by far not bad. I feel like there's so many times where a company makes a banging flavor and it's like, if you just gave me that little bit more oomph, I shouldn't feel like I have to go to a second scoop, but I know if I do a second scoop, I'm going to love it. 7.5. If the flavor's there, their flavor profile is right. It's honestly very, it's a comfort flavor.
Yes.
The smell is there. The flavor is there. Now, the one thing I will say, caffeinated podcast.
So,
Just
just a heads up. Just a heads up, Jordan. Is this the Ulti site? If you're referring to the Ulti site, there is silicone dioxide in there.
Yeah, on the packet they do show that there is natural and artificial flavors, silicone dioxide.
Whereas if you go to Freshen Up, it's natural flavors and colors.
Now they don't necessarily put whether they use so I think maybe they need to update their website, but they do on the packets because it does say natural and artificial flavor.
Yes, we got we got other ingredients on here. Maltodextrin, natural and artificial flavor, citric acid, cellulose, silicone dioxide, beta-carotene, FD&C yellow number 5.
So it sounds like they need to update their website, and they are a relatively newer company, but they could also definitely update their site to show that.
Indeed so. Also, if anyone's wondering about this, which I think this is going to be the everything here. So, gluten-free, sugar-free, organic caffeine, vegan-friendly, clinically dosed, and soy-free. Now, again, if we do have this CEO on our show, we do ask him the same things we would ask Jordan, as in, hey, this caffeine content on here, ironically, this is the strangest amount. This sounds like a random number, but it says 206 milligrams. So,
I mean, it's really
Jordan,
not that strange.
I'm just saying the 06. So, I mean, the way that Jordan kind of put it, and I'm not saying this just because he's here, but he's the only example we have. So, I straight up asked him, why 100 milligrams of caffeine? You could have just said, hey, I want it this amount. We've seen 140. We've seen 160. We've seen 200. We've seen 180. And he goes, mine is 100. Why? Because somebody could have their cup of coffee in the morning that's 80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine on average, and somebody could have a game night, take a shaker, triple scoop it, and they are still in the daily amount that you should have at a maximum.
Can
So
Advanced
that would be
GG
essentially their 400 milligrams of caffeine.
can Advanced GG say the same?
Tubs of Advanced GG are 100 milligrams a scoop. The
Yeah.
cans,
Can't Glitch also say the same?
isn't it 100 for the Pro Series?
Mm-hmm.
Then yes, for the Pro Series, yes. The Gaming Line, no, that's 225.
I think you should also be like, it's also on the individual to know that you are looking at the product of your tub and seeing how much caffeine is such in it, so you should know to how many scoops you should be putting. But in general, in most products, it's just one scoop. Generally.
Jordan's the man, and this is why. Long story short, it's just nice because, you know, he could just call it as it is. Also, I will say, Teach, you want to know who's actually been on the attack of that glitch tub?
Your father?
Yes.
I know, I saw your tweet where he's like, this stuff works.
Yeah, like my father basically, like, you know, because you know where the cabinet is, and there's different brands in there, all that. And before he was just going on snow cone because it just tasted good to him. But I think he just said, hell with it. It's got the funnel in there, everything else. And he just kind of goes, this right here, it's this. This works. Now, granted, caffeine difference is probably why, but honestly, I just don't think he mentally.
I think it's way more than just caffeine. I think it's a difference of trying G Fuel, which is packed up with BS, maltodextrin, and other stuff, to where you feel like you have energy until you actually try a good clean product, and you're like, oh, this is actually energy I've been, missing out this entire time.
He's tried a little bit of everything in that cabinet by now. He tried the Raven's Blood. He tried the glitch. He's tried the Advanced GG. He drinks the hydrations.
And I think this should go as a good friendly reminder to our audience and our community that we're not trying to be here now just shitting on G Fuel. But I think the biggest thing that I have heard from our audience recently, and I genuinely love, is that they have started to broaden their horizons and kind of open up their eyes a little more and willing to try other companies. And I can honestly say, without a doubt of a fact, if you take a step away from G Fuel and you start trying another company that's genuinely better, you will actually get the energy that you deserve from your caffeine supplement product that you were originally buying. Let's be real, at this point, you are paying for G Fuel to get good flavored water that does taste great, I will admit, with a tiny little bit of a caffeine pump.
Yes.
And I've had people message me myself. I don't know about Relly. I've had a couple people make even comments on our Twitter where they're like, just start following us, get up upset at you spaghetti because we're just bashing on G Fuel. And it's like, look, I think you need a hype, like, get off the Kool-Aid real quick. Like,
I've had it in, not on Twitter, but in other places But at the same time, there's been other creators that have done some other stuff. And again, when people just, when people just want to say, hey, you're defacing the brand. Well, did your brand give you a free tub? Because I did. I signed it for you.
Again, I'll never deny it that G Fuel tastes great because they make a great tasting product. And
I mean, dude, there are some brands that taste good, but at the end of the day, now listen, we're getting older and we're just looking forward to what we're putting in our body a little bit more.
I wouldn't even say that. I think it's more just being experienced and trying to help people open up
Hey,
their
my
mind.
favorite Irishman is in here. How we doing? So I actually, it's kind of nice too because Teach, do you remember I sent you? Because Gaz,
sent
my
me
buddy
some
from
packets.
Ireland. So I wanted to show you something. I think I saw it not too long ago, but when you look at Sneak, I want to say it also tastes great, but the thing that got me was I just looked at the label and I just thought it was underdosed. Although I'm looking forward to trying the cans. I got a Amazon purchase that. But guys, if you're here, man, outside the Prime bullshit, what cans are actually at your, I don't know, at your normal convenience stores, your gas stations, all that? Because I know it's a little bit different as far as marketing and availability across the pond. Let's see. I think I gotta go to the site and just screenshot this to you.
Was this the whole Sneak thing you were going on about previously?
Yes. Just simply because, well, again, we go by dosage and everything else. Ooh, that thing sold out fast. Their peach iced tea sells out fast.
Did I try Sneak's peach iced tea?
I don't believe you did.
Because I know I tried Gamer Supps and I tried Advanced GG, and between the two, Gamer Supps definitely did a better peach iced tea.
On Messenger. So what we have here, let's see. So Gaz, in where you are in Ireland, are people actually paying well above retail price for these damn things? Is that still going on?
I think he'll be on in 15-ish. He'll be home.
Want to shoot him that link?
I already shot him the link.
Sweet. So if I'm looking at the Sneak label, B6 as far as dosage, very low. Same with B12. Niacin I could live with. Vitamin C, a little low, but very doable.
What are we trying to point out here?
What I just sent you on Messenger.
Yeah.
That is a Sneak label.
Okay.
Would you consider some of the things underdosed?
No, not per se, because again, there's only so much your body can actually absorb and consume. But I think the bigger thing you need to know here about the Sneak label that you just sent me that I'm looking at is I have to give them credit for including more in their product than what many companies do. I like that they're including magnesium. I like that they're including biotin. I know some companies do this, but not all. I like there's potassium, again, magnesium, biotin. I love to see that.
I agree.
Even
my only
riboflavin.
thought was the B vitamins I think are underdosed. That was the only knock I have.
Jordan, you in chat right now are just you yourself. You are just representing yourself. You're a member of the audience.
As far as I'm concerned, Jordan, I too. Now, again, we are given a small company just as we did with yourself, even though I think you're getting larger and larger with time. But again, if I had to go by size, just remember, he's got 2 flavors. You have a couple dozen. So I'm just trying to be fair, and I'm not sure if we're going to have I'm not sure if there's going to be so much going on with him. And let me get a little room to type here. Let me pull up this company's website and kind of go from there.
Yeah, they are very new.
Yes. I will say though, if you look at their plastic shaker and their caffeine CEO battle right now, this is gonna be like a joust, right? So they do have ice shakers for sale as well. They got a hat. That hoodie looks cool and comfortable. Let me see the inside of that one of those shakers. Shop. 64-ounce shaker and sticker that says "I heart big jugs." $20.
Where is this?
Let me pull this up.
Okay. I mean, that's actually I give.
You
them
seeing
credit.
this right now?
I'm on the website. That's I give them credit.
I got a screen share on.
Yeah, I give them credit for trying to have another kind of style of bottle, because there are people out there that just carry around jugs of water with them. So I give them credit for trying to sell another style of bottle.
I mean, you try and find these around everywhere. I mean, if it breaks, hell with it. I mean, it's a nice cheap water bottle, good for the size. Got different colors with the brand on it. Not bad. Also, let's see if it shows it in this one.
My only question though is
it shows it right here. You see that net?
Yeah. Is that what they're using in the 64 ounce? Because they don't have a picture of it, but if they do, like, I want to give them credit. If they are making a 64 ounce shaker, that's actually a shaker
right here.
Yeah, I have it pulled up on my side too. If it's actually a shaker though, as advertised, for $20, 64 ounces, that's a good deal.
It's this premium plastic shaker, 100% made in the USA, using the best USA grade FDA approved materials. Dishwasher safe and tough as nails.
But like, genuinely, what other companies do you know have a 64 ounce for $20? Plastic or not, if it's a shaker that much, credit. I like to give credit where credit is due. I like seeing that kind of innovation and different variety in the widespread market.
Not bad. Although I'm not gonna lie, I've actually really wanted to, especially when it comes to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I gotta pick up that pink brim freshen up hat. I've been dying for like that, like a pink themed hat that fits the freaking bill.
Go to their shakers. Go to their shakers. Because I know it's like the same company. I'm pretty sure it's Advance uses that kind of shaker.
This is the ice shaker.
Yeah, but like, I mean, they have, for being a brand new company, mind you, newer-ish, they have a ton of colors.
These are the standard colors they make, but still, the fact that you gotta buy them and print them out. Let's see, 1, 2.
Wait, these are the standard colors that they make for Ice Shaker?
Ice Shaker makes these standard colors, yes.
See, now I don't follow Ice Shaker, but anytime I see like Advance and their Ice Shaker, it's always just black. Just black.
Well, Juju actually had 3 different colors, but they stopped making them. So I actually have it's in the pantry right now, but yes, they make these colors. That's just standard.
Now, if you go over to their actual shop and go over to Energy, Ulti sells their tubs for $44.99 for 45 servings.
So $1 serving.
Yep. And one thing that I'm noticing that they are doing that I think many more companies should do is it looks like they even have an option to buy with Sezzle. I think it's great for companies to allow you to have other options to get a large order and do payments.
Yes, very good. The Ulti advantage, our formula. This is Jordan's gonna like this. He's gonna want to see this. Zero sugar, organic caffeine, nootropics, gluten-free, vegan-friendly, keto-friendly. Okay. Not many times you see keto-friendly. Soy-free.
I think we see like quite a bit.
I see it on the bangs, and technically speaking, it passes, but usually you don't see it on the label like that. It doesn't on the packet, but I usually don't see that too often. I've only seen it on bang cans.
You'll see it on Glitch.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so standard stuff here. Long story short. Caffeine needs no introduction, contains 206 milligrams of natural caffeine, just the right amount of energy and no crash. Now, I just want to stop sharing my screen just so I could get to Jordan's comments. So, again, Jordan, would you find 100 versus 200 more beneficial when it came to caffeine?
On the fort for a quick second.
Absolutely. So that's just what I want to know first and foremost, Jordan. And to be honest with you, now I know that me and Teach will probably argue about this one to a point, but my thought is this. If you have to consume something throughout the day, so granted, you got to drink X amount of fluids because, again, I work construction. Teach doesn't. I think he works indoors, I believe. Oh, there we go.
So you have to kick me out.
Well, maybe I didn't want him checking out your coolie. How about that? So, but Teach, here's one thing. I'm not sure if we would argue about this or not, but if you have to drink, you got to drink X amount of fluids throughout the day. Would somebody really complain about having our drink for their caffeine content?
What do you mean?
As in, hey, my personal limit is 200. I could just drink this. Versus, oh my God, I got to drink another one of these. Damn it.
I'm sure somebody out
there.
You may not, but I'm sure somebody out there would, because I definitely understand it from like that kind of standpoint. I would rather just have one personally. I would some people, it depends on their work schedule, depends on their life schedule. I'd rather wake up, give myself an hour and a half for the chemical that I can't think off the top of my head to start to alleviate away internal brain chemical that tracks with your caffeine receptors. And I'd rather have a bolt of energy and a bolt of caffeine right up front. I'd rather not have to kind of drag it on.
Hey, speaking of which, Jordan did the math and he found out that 64-ounce shaker would be potentially a heart attack for somebody, but for you, a day in the life.
I don't think somebody's realistically doing that many scoops in a 64-ounce shaker. You may still do their one average scoop and you may not get the full effect, but it could still just be somebody using it as a water jug.
He's just saying, right? If you're using their product,
Mm-hmm.
right? You put in 16 ounces, right? Times that by 4.
Yeah, no,
Times that scoop, times it by 4.
The math
So
is correct, but I don't
yes,
see somebody putting in 4 of them into one of those.
for you, I think you could.
That's not about a could or would. I don't think the average consumer is going to do that.
You aren't the average. I'm just pointing at you.
I'm not pointing at myself because if I was in that scenario with one of those, I'm not putting 4 of them in there.
So you'll just have so what? You're just gonna have 4 different kinds of shakers because you'll get bored of the flavor?
No, I think it's a good idea for companies to have a variety of shakers, and I'd like the idea of having a 64 ounce. And again, we can't just call everybody stupid and think that everybody's brainless and nobody's reading their products and understanding what they're putting into their shaker and into their body. But like, I don't see just because someone's going to have a 64 ounce shaker or a 64 ounce water bottle that they're like, oh, I got to put 4 scoops in.
Safety first. Safety first over at Freshen Up.
Like if Glitch made that, I'm not still going to put in 4 scoops of this. That's just silly. Like, let's be real now. But if Glitch want to make a 64 ounce bottle that I could show around and promote more and have more of a brand that I support on the label to it.
You know, I feel like I don't even have it in here. My big water bottle's around somewhere, but it's a 64 ounce. But this is the smaller water bottle I have around my bedside. You know, when you wake up before you go to bed, you get like that dry mouth.
And how many ounces does it hold?
Doesn't even say on here. I think it's like a 20 something.
It's only a 20?
20 something.
It looks a lot longer than that.
It's 20 something. I don't know the exact amount. It might be like a 28 maybe. I don't know.
I mean, even like Advance, they put out their 36, their stretch shaker. I don't see somebody taking 3 scoops to that.
So absolutely, Jordan, and be free to comment when he comes in. So Josh, here's what I'm gonna do. In the pink grapefruit market, there's a B team type flavor. I'm going to give you the exact. I'm going to give you the exact link as we speak. So again, they do have a 3 for $49 sale going on. They have a bundle thing there. This would be the only thing on the market currently. But especially after seeing this comment, if you have time to wait, try the Freshen Up grapefruit, and I'll be right behind you.
You know what company I would love to have their CEO on this show?
Cliff?
Nope.
Who?
W.
If Jordan saw the W CEO on this program, I think, first off, I think Jordan might have a cow, but I also think that the CEO might exactly just, I don't know.
I only say it because I saw them on our Caffeinated Podcast Twitter feed, and apparently it looks like they want to come out with cans.
Yeah.
But they made a retweet that says, we're going to do our best in order to do it the right way. We will need a lot of money and help.
Need a lot of money and help. I'm sorry. What? You're only giving streamers false hope that they could get the big time and eventually get to the point where they have all this free shit. I hate to say it, but I mean, some people are straight up getting smoke blown up their ass, man. It's like, yeah. I mean, again, there's thousands of codes out there. There's thousands of streamers.
W just partnered with Mississippi State Esports. W is now the official Mississippi State esports sponsor. Not hope, help. Money and help.
I
Money and
am
help.
not getting political on this program, ranted about Tennessee and what goes on down there. I am not getting into that debate because as a New Englander and, well, really a Northeastern, you could call me a damn Yankee, you could call me a New Englander, whatever. This guy from the Northeast is not going to rant about Mississippi. But again,
What are you talking about?
I
bring up that
W's-
W is sponsoring Mississippi State esports, the college. You want to go into politics?
I am not going to rant about how I feel about Mississippi or anything that happens over there. This is coming from the guy that calls Ohio uneducated Ohio. Me and Ohio State, of course, but still.
There's no connection to any politics. It's just stating the obvious that Mississippi State has an esports team, and they are sponsored by W.
An agriculture place. Hold on. Mississippi State University, Agriculture and Applied Science. Oh, God. So, okay, everybody. So, we are going to give a very warm welcome to the Ulti CEO.
Oh, Chuck's here?
What's up, guys?
Chuck, my man, how are you?
Oh,
I'm good. How are you guys?
good.
I'm doing great, my man. Thanks for coming on, man. Welcome on.
Yeah, absolutely. I got back just in time. Hopefully, you guys weren't waiting too long.
Oh, dude,
no,
you're
not
A-okay.
all, not all. We're just extending the show because we're glad that you took the opportunity, man. You're actually the second CEO that's been on the show, and it's always a good time hearing from the guys up top, man. So,
Yeah.
any questions for us before we begin, or?
No, you guys, I just started looking at you on Twitter a bit, and you guys seem to know a lot about the industry. So
Sorry, go ahead, Chuck.
No, I was just going to say, it's something I've been following for years and years and years. Even before I started Ulti, I followed the industry because starting Ulti was always a dream of mine. So I know I got a spreadsheet with 50 different people that are playing in this space, and some that have come and gone in the time I've been stalking everybody. But I'm really passionate about the space, and it's pretty cool. Just combining supplements and gaming is something I've always been big on.
So again, Chuck, welcome to the Caffeinated Podcast. Myself, Teach, and Relly here. We've been doing this podcast about a year and a half now, as our passion for caffeinated beverages, caffeinated supplements. For it's important what you put into your body. We talk all different companies, brands, from your major big energy Monster Red Bull to your other smaller guys and powder form, et cetera, et cetera. And we recently just found out about your product. I think Relly was the one that saw the ad, and so we decided to have it on. And we appreciate having your time. I know you said you had to step away from being a father, and that can really be a lot. And we appreciate your time for that. So,
no, this is fun. Yeah, we were running a special where we get free single serves we're sending out to people to try to get people to try us out. So
I saw that. So
yeah.
you got us to try it.
What ended up happening for my end was there's only one other company that I saw actually do a lemon drop flavor. So when they started, that was one of their first 3 flavors. It's now discontinued. So I said, for the hell of it, let me see if somebody actually makes one. You popped up. Ulti popped up. So I'm like, okay, I think I've seen the Facebook ad, but what is this? And sure enough, in this guy right here and in this guy, we got Blue Raz and we got the lemon drop. Now, I guess going into it, what had you start with these 2 flavors?
So it's 2 flavors that I liked, first of all. And then I was also looking at what are the most popular out there. So like what 2 flavors could you start a company with that are going to be pretty common? You don't want to like go out on a limb and start with a lychee flavor as one of your first 2 or something like that. So you don't want to pick something.
That
risky.
is very acquired taste. You're absolutely right, because lychee, I mean, I've tried it in a can, do not like it. I've tried it in powder form.
See, I didn't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, so that's how we picked those 2. Is just whenever I would get pre-workouts, I'd always get a blue raspberry, and then always like lemon drop type, like I know they have the alcohol, the shot, the lemon drop.
The candy though.
Yeah, but the candy's awesome. Like the lemon head candy. If I could get a product that tasted like that, I was like, that's going to be great. Like 0 sugar, healthy, and it tastes like candy. That's going to be a good one. And but yeah, they're blue raz. Like I've tried every one in the market. I've got competitors' tubs sitting over there, and my favorite of them all was Sneak. I don't see anyone else who's gotten the blue raspberry really well done yet, in my opinion. But I like Sneaks a lot.
So, in typical fashion, to more formally do this, because we do typically make a full episode out of this. Again, we appreciate your time. Chuck, we're just here to get, learn about Ulti. You guys are a newerish company. Ask you the questions that we would want to know to get more info about you guys, what customers may want to know. And some of them may be the easy questions, some of them may be a little bit the hard-hitting questions. But in general, we always like to open up with, we've kind of already introduced you. You are Chuck, the CEO of Ulti. But, tell us about yourself. Tell us about the brand. Let the people know a little bit before we get into the good chatter.
Yeah, so I rolled the brand out just from stalking the industry, and you guys know all the players. You know there's different levels. Different people are playing in different levels within the industry. You have the people that are really high serving counts, low price per serving, but the formulas are terrible, all the way up to the guys that are playing in kind of the premium formula space where G Fuel left an opening for everyone to hop in, is just have a better formula, get rid of some of the chalky taste. So G Fuel left that door open, and then we have all of these people that are jumping in. So we wanted to jump in. I played sports in college, and I'm big into working out. And so I know the science side of the supplements and the formulation. And then I've been gaming all my life. I used to be I used to go to MLG events as a World of Warcraft player. So very nerdy.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day, back in college, I played lacrosse in college. So I'd go out and play, and then I'd come home at night and play World of Warcraft, like the biggest nerd you could imagine. And just hiding in the fraternity house playing World of Warcraft. And my buddies were like, "You're an enigma. This is ridiculous." So then I got to finally combine those two passions, supplements and gaming. And so we wanted to make sure Ulti had a great formula. All the ingredients in there are properly dosed, no proprietary blends, go through good manufacturers and give some transparency on the manufacturing process. We have a video on our homepage. We actually walk people through our facility a little bit, show them the product being made, show them what it looks like behind the scenes. And then the biggest thing we have, biggest differentiators are our partner program. So we noticed that everyone in the industry, you can go and sign up as affiliates and get your 10% discount code, get a little bit of commission if you get a referral sale, but that's really kind of all they give you. So we wanted to roll something out that was unique. So we have, within our partner program, we have a point system that's added to it where people can join and they can do social media activity. They can leave a review. They could just be active on our socials. They could do an unboxing video, and then you earn points, and the points are worth cash. So do an unboxing video, you get 50 points. That's worth $5. And then you build that up and you stay in the program, you stay active, and then you earn enough points to cash out anything you want. So we have people getting stream lighting, stream decks, all the way up to PCs or keyboards. So you can literally not get a single referral sale and cash out for items that actually improve your stream. So I stole it from Ryse. I know you guys I saw a tweet about Ryse today. Their ambassador program.
A fan of the show, a very good friend of the program, actually sent us these to try out, and I will say, very good.
Yeah, so they started something like this where they had a point system within their partner program, and it's a software you have to spend a lot of money on. So it's like an investment that we have to give to the community to really just do more than what is out there. So everyone out there, you can go sign up for 10 different companies and get your own referral code and get a little piece of commission. But we wanted to just do something that was more genuine, like trying to help small streamers actually grow. So by giving them ways to get free stream upgrades or free product or 50% discount codes, that's what we wanted to do. So that's kind of where we're unique, is want to play in the premium space with all the top formulas out there, and then also have a totally unique partner program that nobody else has.
Now you mentioned the facility and the tour and everything. Is this done within the States, or is this done somewhere else?
Yeah, so I live in St. Louis, and the manufacturing facility is probably a 15-minute drive from my house.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll go out there frequently. We run like a custom shaker program, so we do custom ice shakers for our streamers, where we can put their
that's
logo on it, and it's pretty cool. They can customize them any way they want. And so yeah, I head out to the manufacturing facility a lot. That's our warehouse for fulfillment too. So
Yeah, you said it's your guys' warehouse, like you guys own the facility that does everything?
no, we have space there, so we do
Okay.
our fulfillment there, and they manufacture some of the largest supplement brands in the world. So they're big dogs, and they let me in there as a little guy just starting out, just because they liked me. So I went in there and showed up, knocked on the door. And normally they don't take people that are just starting, so they've been a good partners to get going with, which is great. And we got 3 more flavors coming soon as well. We'll
Oh,
finally
3
expand.
more flavors coming soon.
Yes.
So
Care to share, or you want to keep it quiet?
I can't share. I can say, man, they're ones that have been very requested.
Okay.
There's one of them is, I know you probably have tried them all, but there's a Ghost Energy can flavor out there that we're going to be bringing up as well. There's kind of a tropical flavored one, and then there's one that some people might not even know what it is. It's a cultural drink. So the drinks will be here, and
drink.
yeah, it's like half the people I let them try it. Like I took it to my gym and let all these meatheads try it, and they're like, "What is this?" And they really liked it, but they didn't even know what it was, even after I told them the name. So it'll be coming out. And we had about 5 weeks till all the new flavors are out. So we got 3 coming, and then we're working on our first hydration formula as well.
Okay, so you hear it here
hydration
first.
formula as well. Interesting.
Yeah, we've got a lot of questions about that. And I actually we're partnering with a larger streamer who, back in my pro WoW days, he's still a big streamer in the WoW scene, the arena scene. And so I've been talking with him about rolling something out and then possibly having being a part of it. He's not a big energy drink guy, but he's like lives a healthy lifestyle, which I'm all about. I'm like, what kind of products do you take day to day? Like, what would fit your lifestyle that you can like truly represent something and not just be pushing a product you don't believe in? So we're working with him on flavoring and got the formula already good to go, and we're doing our first round of samples right now.
I like the
Sweet.
transparency about, being upfront. You guys showed off your warehouse where everything is made. Relly and I did try you guys' 2 flavors, and honestly, to be fully transparent, I was a little worried because, a lot of times you see these little brands out there trying to grow. Everybody is, and you see they're like, "Hey, try our free product, just pay for shipping." I was like, I'm gonna hold back a little bit, a little skeptical, and then we tried them and we were genuinely impressed.
Good. Is there? I know the lemon. We always hear it tastes like lemon head candy with a little bit of the sour missing, and then the blue raspberry is kind of tricky. Some people, you got to vary your water. Some people they need more water. Some people need less. But so you guys both like them, all right?
So I did mine both in 16 ounces.
Same.
So if I were to do it over again, I'd probably put the blue raz in 14 ounces.
Yeah.
But both very good.
See, I like the blue raz. Now, again, everybody does a blue raz, but you guys had a good one. I almost kind of felt like it was a blue raspberry cotton candy in a way. The lemon head I probably liked a little more. It's a spot on. You don't see it much. I just wish I had a little bit more citrusy punch, but still very good.
Yeah,
the lemon drop for me, I kind of think about it as lemon heads along with lemonade. I think it's for me, I think it's nice. It's chill. It's got the best of both worlds in there. It sounds weird by the concept, but lemon head lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, they don't really. Neither of them are really tart. I know sometimes you get a blue raspberry that has tartness, and same with the lemon, you can get that tartness. We didn't. They're more on the sweeter side as opposed to tart, but the feedback's been good. Especially seems like everyone likes the lemon. Blue raspberry. There's some people that just don't. Like you said, some people equate it to like a blue cotton candy or like the blue slushies you get from the movie theater or something like that. So it's a tough one to get.
It's really, really weird too, because I think when it comes to people with brand loyalty, there's many companies, big and small, that make a blue raspberry kind of as like they're just like, hey, it's kind of like a mixer. Hey, how are you? Versus you're the only one on the market that has a lemon drop flavor. So I
Yeah.
think that kind of stands out, and clearly there's no comparison to it. You can't just say, not bad, but I like my brand of choice here better. Like this, you have an unbiased flavor here, and there's nothing to compare, and that's where you stand out. We do have a question from the audience. So, how long is the flavor turnaround? Okay, so essentially, what he's asking is, how long does it take you guys start to finish to make a flavor?
Ooh, that's a good one. So the first two, it took us a long time. It took, I see Bree Blair with the cultural drink sangria. Nice try, Bree. That's smart. That's not it, but no, it takes a long time. But what's good is we get a bunch of samples, and I say, hey, send me. I'll go into our community Discord, and I'll say, hey, all right, guys, we gotta get some more flavors out, and then I'll take the top 6 that everyone's asking for, and then we get the samples, and they'll send them out. They'll send me 3 samples of whatever flavor I pick. I'll get them pretty quick, so within a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks, and then the hard part's the tweaking. So you gotta you get something it's close. Like we tried a cherry limeade, and cherry limeade's a tough one to get. We tried 4, maybe 5 rounds, but with cherry it's tricky because it can taste like cough syrup half the time. So getting a really good cherry limeade or cherry anything is
we've tried some cough syrup cherry limeade before, and
yeah.
my god, that is a fresh piper right down the drain, right out the window. Feed your plants.
Yeah.
We've tried it. It is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, we tried to get one because everybody wants a good one. Like they want it to be close to like Sonic's cherry limeades, but I just couldn't get it. Like I'd be sitting there drinking a Sonic cherry limeade, testing my Ulti cherry limeade, and I'm just like, this is just not it.
So technically we didn't say it, but I think we know what's coming. But to say the least, I'm excited to give that a shot. So will all these new 3 flavors be available in sample packets, or?
So this one, we didn't bring out the sample packs yet. There's some, it's kind of tricky depending on the level of manufacturer you use. So they have things like minimum orders that are required. So sometimes when you want to get tubs, you have minimum orders. Like you can't just go out and buy, if you use a really good manufacturer, you can't just go out and buy 100 tubs of something. You have to buy thousands. So it's a large investment up front.
So so with these third-party manufacturers, what the minimum order is a couple thousand?
Yeah, I mean you can get some that will run a lot lower. It's just then you're sacrificing quality. Like there's some brands that you don't really know. Like there's some manufacturers out there that cut corners that don't do third-party testing that you just can't trust. And there's even some brands in our space that I won't name names, but it's almost like they get their buddy to make the product in their garage. Like that's what you guys as consumers, you can't know where things are made or what level of quality it's made. You can't even know for sure that what's on that ingredient label is actually what's in the product and in the amounts listed. So when you go and you use one of these reputable manufacturers that do third-party testing, then all of that is, then you're secure in knowing exactly what you're getting. Even some people in our industry, they don't have FDA compliant labels. So like if the FDA came after them, they'd be screwed. Jay, metals testing, absolutely. So it goes, that third-party testing is it literally goes through an X-ray machine where they want to see if a screw fell in a tub or something like that. And what they do is they'll actually take a batch of the product, take out a whole bunch of tubs and put it in this testing facility. This third party comes in, they test them all, and they do it multiple times, every tub, just to make sure that the batch is accurate. And they're testing to make sure that if I say there's 1,600 milligrams of new level in this thing, they say, yes, that's exactly right. All the numbers add up. But yeah, you can start with much lower. It's just the lower quantity you go, and the more you pay for the product on the front end too. So then your profit margins are like this. And you can't make enough money the goal in this business is to turn inventory over and make enough money to keep growing, keep expanding out flavors. So to your original question about the single serves, you can't just go and buy like 1,000 single serves because you're going after these you're trying to get on the schedule with these manufacturing facilities where like they have to clean all the machines, they have to sub everything out, so they don't make any money if they're just running 1,000 single serve packets. And it takes them so much time to tear it down and set it back up. So you got to buy like 10,000, 25,000 of them.
So, question: when you say that you yourself, when you look at the formula in here, you signed off on everything, I imagine, correct?
Yeah. And
would you change anything?
That's a good question. Yes, I would. I would change things, and the new products we're bringing out do have those changes in them. So
so the 3 new flavors do have the changes to the formula.
Yes, we've got a 2.0 formula. We've got an ingredient in there that nobody has, which is a really cool kind of a cutting edge ingredient.
Which I imagine is classified until we see it on the label, right?
No, let's bring it up. It's called phosphatidylserine. It's kind of a newer ingredient out there. It's getting big in the supplement space. So I look at the supplement world and the nootropics they put out in the supplement world. A lot of them have things similar to these gaming energy drinks where they're focused on there's one great company called Core Nutritionals where they have a product called Zone, where it's just meant to be like just nootropics, just that the feel good stuff. It doesn't have any of the pump ingredients like a typical pre-workout. But a lot of those companies, they have great formula. Ghost is an incredible company. All their formulas are good. But it's called phosphatidylserine. So we're bringing that. We're getting rid of maltodextrin. We are getting rid of...
That was actually one thing we're going to mention. Like, I understand to a certain point, like, I understand cellulose is a controversial ingredient to some, but the one thing is the 2 things that we actually talk about, and it's just, Teach is an affiliate within our company. I currently am a free agent right now, but when we talk about improving, when we talk about health, wellness, and you know this from the supplement world, we're kind of tired of seeing maltodextrin and dyes and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they put dyes in everything, and there's some bigger companies, we don't want to say big names because there's some big bullies that will sue the hell out of us if they wanted to. Yeah. But every time that we see like Yellow 5, maltodextrin, it's like,
6.
The Yellow 6, the Red 40, the Blue 1, like a little bit less can't hurt us, to say the least. So
yeah, and you guys know your stuff. I mean, so we are getting rid of artificial coloring as well. We found out that lemon drop, we've got these great shakers that nobody has from a company called Sport Shaker. No one in the gaming space has them yet. They're kind of the best of the best, made in the USA, the highest grade plastic. But within those shakers, our lemon drop would stain them a little bit. So I'm like, this isn't cool. We need to change this up. So we got rid of the artificial coloring. It's kind of a pointless thing anyway. Like, if your drink tastes great, I mean, without artificial coloring, you could still get the reds you want, get the whites you want, get the oranges you want.
Also, at the end of the day, too, and I tell people this, since a lot of people are moving on to metal shakers, you can't see the freaking thing anyway.
Yeah. Yep. So we're getting rid of the artificial coloring. What's great is like maltodextrin, everyone, you'll see companies that stand on that hill that, hey, we don't have maltodextrin fillers in them. And it gets kind of a bad rap. It's not a harmful ingredient as people will say. Your body does kind of treat it like a sugar sometimes. It's high on the glycemic index, but also it's in so many things you eat today, like cereal, pasta, soups, salad dressings. Maltodextrin, we're eating it every day anyway. But you're right. It's like things in moderation are good. If you're getting bad stuff from all around, the industry today is like you can get some great ingredients within these products without the bad stuff, without the maltodextrin, without the artificial colors. So yeah, we're making those tweaks.
Cut back on it's great.
So you bring up a new formula coming out, and like one of my questions is there any difference to the caffeine you bring out, like on the label, just looking at it, because it kind of stands out in a way. There is 206 milligrams, and I was just curious by like the 6, because most companies cut off like 100, 200, but you have 206.
Yeah, I mean, it's a business I'm starting out. Like this is kind of a reset for me. Like why have 206 milligrams? It's kind of stupid. Like why not 210 or 200? So like things like getting rid of maltodextrin, getting rid of the artificial colors. Part of that was a mistake on the front end where I let someone talk me into saying it'll be fine or that the industry won't care. And same thing with that caffeine number. So we're actually bumping it to 220. So it'll actually be.
So you're okay with 220 as a 1 scoop?
So 220 will be a 2 scoop. So the sachets are equal to 2 scoops. So if you look at like Advanced GG or Ghost or Glitch, everyone does the 20/40. And I'll give you some insight. The reason they do that is because New Level. Are you familiar with that ingredient?
Yep.
So
Teach is actually a Glitch affiliate. If you didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I see it on the ticker on the bottom. But Glitch's new formula is incredible. They did a great new formula. But New Level, for example, so you'll see on all of those Ghosts, Advanced, Glitch, they all have New Level.
Yep.
They all do the 20/40. They're all $45. And that's because New Level is very, very expensive. It's a trademarked ingredient. It's usually kind of the primary ingredient within all of those formulas. You can't wear the New Level trademark unless you have 1,600 milligrams of New Level in your product. So that's why everyone's doing the 20/40, because if you do a 1 scoop at 40 with 1,600 milligrams of New Level, it's going to cost a ton of money. It's going to be very expensive formula. And,
so do you think the New Level's a gimmick, or do you actually like it?
I like it. I think it does work, and it's backed by studies. It is. So when you get these trademarked ingredients, so Glitch redid their formula, and it was smart. I mean, they kind of had to. Their old formula was not very good. It had a proprietary blend. So they're one that I keep an eye on because they're doing great. They got like the Pro Series, and they got the Regular Energy, which is kind of a cheaper formula, lower price point. It's kind of meant for like the Amazon distribution eventually. But yeah, the trademarked ingredients they just get really expensive. You can get the exact same thing of what New Level is in just a normal, not the trademarked ingredient. But what we're all buying into is that it's backed by all those studies on gamers. And so that helps us as a selling point. Say, hey, this is the only ingredient clinically proven to improve gaming performance, reaction speeds. And so
essentially with these new formulas coming out, it will say, hey, for 1 serving, it could be either basically 1 container will be 20 drinks or 40 drinks, depending on your. Okay, so essentially, if you were to double scoop it, it's 220 for caffeine content.
Right, and I like it because some people, the highest in the industry right now is like 200 milligrams for a full serving.
225 via Glitch, to my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
gaming series
with their new gaming series, yeah.
Okay.
225 a scoop, which I think is crazy, but Teach might say otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, you should know as a person not to be doubling up and doing multiple scoops or something. I mean, again, we can't expect everybody to have, head on their shoulders, but you should kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah. I like the 1 scoop, 2 scoop option. So there's some people that are good with 220 milligrams. Some people would rather just have 110. There's some pre-workouts out there now that have 400 milligrams of caffeine. So once I hit about over 300, I start getting headaches. So that's too much caffeine for me in one sitting. But
now you said you're getting the new V2 formula. You've already brought up some drastic changes, like removing the dyes, maltodextrin, etc. So there going to be any others? Like, just for a silly question, like, are you guys going to coffee bean extract? Are you staying with green tea, green bean? Not green bean, but green tea.
Yeah, so we're sticking with I'm looking at the formula right now. We're sticking with the green tea, the natural caffeine. We're changing our choline source. So if you know anything about choline, you can have choline by tartrate. You can have plain old choline. You can have trademarked alpha GPC choline. They're all just different levels of choline, like different quality of sources. So like choline by tartrate is like one of the lowest level sources of choline, whereas alpha GPC is kind of towards the top. So we changed to alpha GPC choline just because it's a funny term. It's called bioavailability. So if you get a higher quality ingredient, sometimes it's more bioavailable, which just means your body can actually absorb it and use it. Whereas if you get some of these lower quality ingredients that maybe aren't trademarked or that are like a derivative of the best of that version, then your body, it might be something that you're getting advertised about, but your body's never going to feel any of the effects of it because your body's not really going to absorb it very well. If that makes sense.
It does. Not even on the same great example you brought up. How do you feel about other companies in this space that trademark or show off their labels that have such high percentages or so much of something when our bodies can only actually absorb so much and actually use so much? Do you feel like they're just gimmick marketing, just throwing money away? What's your thoughts on that in this space?
It's tricky. So there's what's interesting is when people make these formulas, like Glitch, for example, they went with the kitchen sink formula where they threw in every trademarked ingredient that anyone in the industry has in their product, threw it into theirs. And luckily they're big enough where they could probably order so many of these products that they can keep the price down, the per unit price down. But what's interesting is people will brag about like, well, I've got 1,000 milligrams of taurine. That's the clinically studied dose of taurine. Or I've got this much L-theanine. That's what clinical studies say is the most beneficial dose. But none of these clinical studies measure these ingredients together. So, I mean, someone came in and said, why is your L-theanine low? It's supposed to be like more than your caffeine content. It's like, well, think about what L-theanine does. It helps reduce kind of the crash from caffeine. It helps improve mood, elongates the effects of caffeine. But you've got 10 different ingredients in this product that some of them do something similar. So I think there are some people that have a more like predatory formula out there where they kind of sprinkle in some ingredients and then they market the hell out of it, where you're not getting anything out of it. Once you get up to good doses of ingredients and you're trying to do things right, after that, like the science is kind of fuzzy because the science is never testing you having tyrosine plus these 6 other ingredients and what are the effects on that. So it's a tough one to figure out.
Okay, so with the new formulas that are in the works, is there just going to be that one trademark ingredient? Is that your main focus?
Yeah, we're still focusing on New Level. That's kind of the star of the show, and in all of these groups, like so, Glitch has dynamine and teacrine in it.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually looking at that right now. This is the sample I have on hand.
Yeah, and a lot of the ingredients that they have, all they are is trademarked versions of ingredients that are in every other product. There's nothing wrong with that. It makes it look a little fancier, but the trademarking doesn't really do much.
So here's one. In your opinion, does creatine affect the taste of the product?
Creatine's it's kind of a worthless addition to a product like this. Like creatine is an exercise product. You should take 5 grams of creatine every day, no matter what. So to have it in an energy drink product is kind of stupid because you don't want to. Some days you don't want to have an energy drink, but you're supposed to take 5 grams of creatine every day to reach that absorption level in your body. So it's something that really shouldn't be in pre-workouts, and it definitely shouldn't be in products like this for gaming.
You said 5 milligrams?
That's about the average. Yeah, 5 grams. Some will take 10 a day.
Yeah, it's like the most studied ingredient in the history of sports science. It's like the best ingredient out there. But yeah, it's just 5 grams a day. It doesn't matter when you take it. You don't need a loading phase. But I think that adding it into a product is kind of a bad idea. Some pre-workouts will do that, but it's like they're just trying to just load up a formula. But creatine's so cheap, you shouldn't. It really has. I take creatine just plain. It really has no flavor to it.
Correct. Now,
some will make that argument. They'll be like, "Hey, the creatine in it makes it taste like ass."
Yeah. What's funny is like with Glitch and Teach. Tell me what you think, but like the dynamine and the creatine, or the dynamine and teacrine, we tried that in our latest formula, and it doesn't mix all the way. Like it's not water soluble. So when we were testing things and tweaking our formula, I tried that, and it would just leave these little white specks floating around. It was almost like I was chewing after every drink. So I'm like, I got to take that ingredient out just because like part of the experience in these gaming drinks is you need it to taste really good too. Like you want it to mix well, you want it to taste great, and then you want the effects to be top notch. So that was a tricky ingredient. I haven't tried Glitch's new formula. There's 2 glitches out there that have that in there.
So
Glitch
let's
with a
be
Y and
first
with an I.
and foremost. We've been talking about this on this show for a while, and when I found out that Glitch I was around and they had 2 flavors, it was the lemonade and it was this, I think it was like a space berry or something.
Yeah.
I have no idea what was in the ingredient, but those were, as far as on this show, they were the worst things we've tried on this show, without a doubt.
Really?
We've tried some pretty bad things. We've had some medicine tasting things. We've had some sherry medicine type things. Like, I could tell you, I could name the exact product I tried. We've tried things, and Teach is like, it's not too bad, but it's not great. And I'm like, Teach, this tastes like divorce. Come on, man. I mean, I've pointed my camera to the window that I'm actually touching right now, and I've threw those sons of bitches out of here. Like the original Zoa orange, where it tasted like a powdery artificial orange, that went to the freaking driveway. Like, oh my goodness gracious.
And Glitch with an I is also price per serving, one of the most expensive in the whole industry. So it just shows that when you get these brands that are backed by big influencers, sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. Even in the supplement world, you have these guys that are big bodybuilders and they put out really poor formulas. But yeah, they're backed by that Wildcat. I don't know him.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, if it tastes like ass and it makes your stomach hurt after the first couple sips, it's a deal breaker. We never went back to it, and it just is what it is. And his mom threatened to hit me with a hammer.
So, first and foremost, because of how we are with the podcast, we are unbiased. So even with me being a part with Glitch, as for more my content side, not content creation with this, but other outside content creation, I do enjoy the product. Like what you had brought up, I do think their new formula is a lot better compared to their V1. I haven't noticed any flakiness or any chalkiness to it. It does dissolve very well. There isn't really any left over. But even to that, don't be afraid to bring anything up first and foremost. Like, I may be with them, but we're still unbiased. If Glitch came at me and said, hey, you can't be talking about other products, you can't be showing them off, I'd be like, cool, you know what, I get it, understandable. If they came out with a product I didn't agree with or I thought was bad, I'd say it open, loud, and clear. But I do enjoy what they have. I do think they have a lot going on. I do think there can be in this industry more of a simplification of like ingredients and demonstration on products of what is included. You know, sometimes you're just throwing out big names like, hey, this is trademarked by ours. And even like Advance with New Level, they currently advertise it. They're the only one with this trademark ingredient. Well, so many more people are bringing it on.
What got me is like Advanced GG started doing these gummies called Boost, and me and Teach had taken a look at them, and at the end of the day, right? So what happens with these powdered drinks is, I remember during around Christmas time, me and my father would just buy cases of Red Bull at a time, and I'm thinking, there's got to be a substitute in a cheaper way than this. Mm-hmm. So we started with the powders. And we kind of just went from there. This was Christmas time, 2019. And it just kind of went on from there. So when it comes to the certain gummies or the vitamins, you kind of think about like this, like in this regard. With a powder energy drink, why would I buy this online versus me going to the gas station and buy a couple cans? Or buy a bulk pack from a Costco, BJ, Sam's Club, etc. You put that in consideration. In this case, we couldn't figure out why we would go to Advanced GG to buy these gummy supplements versus us going down to a Walmart, a CVS, a Rite Aid, whatever pharmacy of choice to buy those. Because at the end of the day, you're spending more money plus shipping and it's underdosed versus, hey, they got this in Walmart down this aisle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're exactly right.
When we compare things, we got to be unbiased here. And it's actually funny, right as Teach was getting his Glitch affiliation, the first thing we tried, we thought the product, the V2, wasn't nearly as great as the V1. And Well, that,
Flavor wise.
flavor wise, that was the first review he had as an affiliate. It was a negative one.
Was it? Yeah, it's
It
tough.
was.
Flavoring's tough, especially when you add in all the ingredients that they have. These ingredients without a flavor profile taste like battery acid. So it's really tough to get flavor.
Yes.
Right.
So another thing from Jordan is, so of all the energy drink brands out there, I know you've tried probably G Fuel, Sneak, probably will be trying the new Glitch. So what companies have you tried and have you not tried, and kind of why for all?
Yeah, I've got, let's see here, on my desk, we've got, there's that Sneak Blue Raspberry. There's Ghost Gamer. Got Advanced. I've got Juju. You guys ever
the Juju Bomb Pop. That's one of my favorites, actually.
I got Mixed and a G Fuel. I've had.
Okay, we've never done Mixed on the show.
I haven't heard any good reviews on Mixed. You want to give us a rundown on that?
So Mixed is, you think of them like playing that low cost. They get 60 servings for maybe less than $30. So the formula matches that. Like, formula is really bad, but they're great at shipping in Canada. So it's really inexpensive in Canada. They do a lot on Amazon. So the formula is, it tastes, well, the blue raspberry does not taste good. It tasted terrible. And the formula is not very good. But if you're looking, some people freak out about price per serving, and that's all they care about. But yeah, Mixed is great if you're a Canadian.
So,
on Amazon.
on a similar topic, as Chuck, you brought up, you were kind of in the fitness world, and as somebody myself who's been in that kind of supplement world, has seen all the BS that goes on there, you know, what's in, what's not in a product, etc. And now this is a different, ever-growing market over the past decade, and it's been booming. There's actually to get your take and your thoughts, kind of a two-parter. Silly one to start off with. Like, a lot of times, if you had a customer, they'd ask you this, like, hey, you have caffeine in this product. Is this a pre-workout? Because we get that question all the time. Like, is G Fuel pre-workout? I take G Fuel in my gym, yada, yada, etc. But there's a company in Canada, it's kind of like a two-part question, called Kraken, and they include beta-alanine in their product, which in my opinion, probably typically shouldn't be in this kind of thing, because you're going to more see that in your pre-workout where it's justifiably so. Yeah.
Beta-alanine, technically helps with blood flow, increasing blood flow. It's kind of the thing in pre-workout that gives you the tingles, though.
Yep.
So when I see things like that, when I see a gaming formula with beta-alanine or creatine in it, things that you're like, this doesn't really belong, you can also go find manufacturers that are kind of that bottom of the barrel manufacturer where they have pre-established formulas where they say, here's our pre-workout formula. And then somebody could just go in and say, well, all right, give me 200 of those, and I'm going to snap my own label on it and try to sell it. And so that when you see something like that, it makes me wonder if they just took a prepackaged formula from one of these low-cost manufacturers and just threw their own label on it. I have never tried them. I'm not familiar with them. But yeah, beta-alanine should never be in a product like this. You don't want to be tingling while you're trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, we hate gimmicks, and the reason why we never really got into pre-workouts is because, let's just be honest, Teach, there's thousands of them, and if we were to try all of them, we'd probably go broke.
It's a saturated market with so many ups and downs, bad stereotypes, bad hysteria. There's the positives, but it's such a mixed market nowadays. And that's why
C4 is such a gimmick.
That's why I brought up the question, because we get a lot of times, somebody been in the fitness industry, if someone, the customer came to you and they're like, hey, can I take your product as a pre-workout? What would you tell them?
I would say pre-workouts, there's three components to a pre-workout. There's the stimulant, which is typically caffeine. That's number one, is what people think about within a pre-workout. And then there's like focus and mood enhancing ingredients. So like when you're in a workout and you're busting your ass, like you want to be able to like stay laser focused, but let me get one or two more sets. And then the third is pump. So stimulant, focus, and pump. So these ingredients, they don't have a lot of your typical pump ingredients like citrulline, L-citrulline, or beta-alanine. So that's it. And so what's great is like you can go and I've been working out for years and years and years, and I'll take Ulti with a pump cap. So you can just buy pump caps from every supplement company out there has them. Ryse has a good one. Ghost has a good one. Glaxon is another big company out there. They got great ones. So I'll just add a pump cap to my Ulti, and then I'll get laser focus and stimulant, and then I'll get the pump from somebody else. So people that say they're not pre-workouts, they're technically right. Like they're more for like, I think of them more as like a daily energy source. So like instead of going to grab that sugar-free Bang or whatever, or Monster, like you get this where you get the caffeine, you get the zero sugar, but you get all those other ingredients that are like will really give you the benefit that caffeine alone won't.
The reason why that's such an important thing to us is because there's so many people that think if it comes in a powder form, it's a freaking pre-workout, and they couldn't be more wrong.
More the
Yeah.
caffeine part, and that's such a not true thing. Caffeine doesn't equal pre-workout. But even as like the base question, Chuck, because I don't believe we got to ask you either. When did you guys officially like start? When was Ulti officially founded?
So we were founded, man, I'll say maybe Q3 of last year.
Okay, so
somewhere
you guys
around
are
there.
relatively newer.
Yeah, and I went through some personal. I went through a divorce, so I had to kind of like slow growth in the company for about 6 months there, which was unfortunate. But went through all that, got done with that in November, and then since the start of this year, we've started to really kick things off. We are starting to add in more of our ambassadors. Again, the product the software that I told you about that has the point system that everyone's loving. We have to actually pay to have people in that program. So we buy seat licenses. So we upped our seat licenses from about 1,000 to much more than that. So now we're working on bringing people into the program. But yeah, so it's been, and I'm happy to tell you guys anything about the industry, especially starting out. Like it's really, really tough. And I've seen there's one company, it's his second try right now. Started with a product line and it didn't work out, I guess, and he just launched another one recently. It's a lot of fun. Like the reason I got into it was because my life was in big corporate sales, so enterprise software sales. I'm not a marketing guy. I'm just a dumb sales guy who loves gaming and working out, and wanted to like take a shot when COVID hit. I'm like, I've been thinking about this thing for 5 years. I've been seeing G Fuel do what they do, and like I want to like just try. And so I've jumped in and I'm trying to figure. You're always just trying to figure things out. You're trying to build it around a community. I think that's really important. But yeah, it's tough. It's really tough to do this. And then I see the big guys that have been doing it for 5 years, like your Glitch and your Advanced and Ghost, and I have tons of respect for everyone in this industry, because it is very hard. And you have tons of choices and a lot of smart companies out there doing great things.
So even on kind of like that topic you slightly brought up, and even kind of to extend on that, with it being such a massive conglomerate that's picking up more and more, what made you feel like you really wanted to stick your feet in the mud, stand like tall, and get into this wide, big market? Like, what did you feel like would make you guys stand out? What made you feel like you really wanted to get into this when there's so many other bigger dogs already out there to play?
Yeah, it's fun because there's all across the spectrum. Like you have your Drink Maw or your Gamer Supps that are kind of like the bottom of the barrel products, whereas like
I think Maw's actually going under now that you say that.
I got a story for you about Maw. So they're actually
yes. I am all ears about this propaganda bullshit.
And this will be good like context for you guys, since you guys know this industry and pay attention and love this industry. So Maw, they were recently trying to sell. I don't know how long they were trying to sell their company, but to sell it on the site, they have to post their numbers. And so they did about $1 million in the last 12 months of sales. They've got, I think, 3 founders. So they did about $1 million in sales, but then their monthly profit was only $4,000. Split it across 3 founders. That's $1,300 a month times 12 is not a lot of money. $15K per person in actual profit. So you can churn $1 million of revenue while you're only making $48K in profit. And that just shows like how tough this industry is. Like,
I think the real problem with that is because if you look at some of the stuff here, so I guess the main thing is, right? And if someone were to be affiliated with Ulti and somebody goes to a checkout, that person from Ulti has their own code, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They've got their
they
own
just
code.
did a Fugazi link where you have to click that link or they do not get commission. They depended so much on the creators, and I remember seeing some of these people, and I was joined in their Discord, and I saw these things. They're like, if you want a code, you got to have 10 people that are subscribed, which, come on, subscribing for a tub where the first one's free and then they cancel.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to have 10 subscriptions and 10 X amount of sales per month for you to get an actual code.
Yeah.
Come on, just
That's
somebody
great.
go, hey, mauenergy.com, this is what I want, put in the code, shebang. Like, that's the way it should be. That's easy. The fact that it was so hard for those guys to get their collection, and this was before Dubby took over and said, hey, you got content, you got no content. Let's give you a code, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good luck. Yeah. And so that you asked, like, with this being such a crowded space, like, those are some of the reasons I wanted to jump into it. So Maw with the sign up for a subscription and hope you don't cancel it with a really crappy formula and a bad product, or the W's where you're just spamming every social media avenue you can. They bring in, for every 100 people they bring into their program, they got 50 people leaving. So it's a constant churning machine and 40,000 affiliates. They don't do anything but give you that code and say, here's your access to the community. So what we wanted to do, and their product, the formula is not very good either. Like, you just look at the formula. I could probably tell you what they pay for that product, and especially their hydration formula. It's kind of, I don't like things that look like you roll out a terrible product and you charge way too much money for it. I think the industry is getting so smart that people will see things like that. So I don't like the way they do certain things. So what I wanted to do was just be like true with my intent. Like, I want to have a great formula, one of the best ones out there. Even for a small guy to afford a formula like mine, it's tough because we've got to move a lot of product to be able to expand our flavors. And then the biggest thing, so I wanted to always do right by that. I wanted something that, like, my kids want to drink it or my friends want to drink it, that I'm confident that it's a great product. And then also, I don't like how I could give you 10 companies that do the same thing. Sign up as many, whoever wants to be a part of the company can sign up, they can get their own code. And so that's the main reason I brought Ulti, was because we have this program where, I had someone who just cashed out a Stream Deck, and they've been with us for a couple months, and they never got a single referral sale, but they got a free Stream Deck. There's no strings attached. It's totally legit. So that's our differentiator in this market, is to say, let's build a good base with the formula we have and, like, with what we're bringing to market. And then let's really actually give back to streamers with more than just a code and a little bit of commission. So even someone's on the commission end. So I talked to a bunch of people before I built this program. And one of the problems with these affiliate relationships is, if like so we have a code out right now. It's Save 30. It's a one-time use code. But what a lot of companies will do is they'll have all their affiliates with their 10 or 20% off code, and then they'll run these sales all the time that are 30% off. So your affiliate will bring somebody into the company, and then the company will just take that commission piece away from you by keep giving them these 30% off codes, or codes that are bigger than their creators' codes. And then they never tie that revenue back to that creator, so the creator doesn't get any credit. And so we have this lifetime customer promise. So anyone who brings someone into any of our partners that bring someone into Ulti, if I happen to run a buy one get one or run a 30% off one-time code, that's still going to credit back to them, and they're still going to get their commission on it. So I just wanted to, like, do things like better than the industry. I just want to treat small streamers better than the industry's treating them today. Like Rogue, for example, I've got their it's tough to see it, but you can go and sign up and be a Rogue affiliate if you wanted. And they've got tiers. They've got bronze, silver, initiate, but their commission rates, they're tiered as well. So for their first sale, you get 0% commission. For $1 to $1,500, you get 5% commission. $1,500 to $3K, you get 7.5%. Over $3K in actual commission or lifetime sold, you get 10% finally. I'm like, why would you make these people that, like, referrals are so hard to get? Why would you make people sell $3,000 worth of stuff before they get a fair commission rate? So I'm like,
so you guys sell $3,000 worth of merchandise for you to get a 10% kickback, which at the end of the day is not much.
No.
I'm glad you actually brought that up.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we've wanted to get somebody. We want to try and get every single brand we can. And again, we know we know a guy from a company called Freshen Up. They've been changing it by storm, even though it may be a brand you not have heard of. I actually think it's one of the underground thing that's keeping everybody on their toes and competing in this market. Now, as far as commission rates go, I find it blasphemous because you have these smaller companies. Because I mean, not many people I know that have heard of companies such as Juju, but yet they will give them a 10% code, 10% off the product, 10% back to the creator. Dubby even does 10%. The fact that Rogue is making you move all that weight for 10%, I mean, breaking the back bacon. And then it's a slap in the face when holidays come around where they do the 25% off codes. Great. This guy's going to get 5% off with his code. I'm sorry, 5% kickback for what's sold. And I don't know what the discount would be, any of that, but that's a lot of weight just to get a 10% kickback. If it was 20, 25, possibly 30, I could surely understand that. They'd be like, hey man, you want a 30% kickback on the products that you have? Do me a favor. Move $3,000 all time, you'll get that 30%. Yeah. I get it.
He's not kidding.
But 3K for 10%? I'm sorry, excuse my language. What a crock of shit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
And that's the thing I don't like seeing. I don't like seeing formulas that are bad with price tags that are way higher than they should be. And
I'm just seeing this now. Oh my God. That's
you can tell it's a graphic. You can see their name in the background. So I didn't make it up, but you can find it when you go on their affiliate signups. You have to do some digging. You have to click into the details of the contract, the terms and conditions you're signing up for. But I talked to a bunch of creators. I'm like, what do you guys like or hate about what you're doing? And they're like, well, I hate it when my audience, there's bigger codes out there that they go and they keep using, so I never get a commission on anything. Here I am repping this product, and the company doesn't have to pay me after a while because they have these bigger codes floating around all the time. Or those ones with the ramping commissions or rates that are very low. It's just not fair. So I'm not doing Ulti to make money. I've had a successful sales career, and I want to create something that I'm proud of. And so that's what I'm trying to do. Everything that Ulti makes is poured right back into the business.
So is this, do you do Ulti full time?
No, not full time yet. I do. My goal with Ulti when I started was going to be, hey, I want to build this company. I want to have 20 employees. I want to have marketing. And just because you want to stroke your ego and say, I'm the CEO, look at all these people look at this company that I'm running and creating. And then after a while, I said, I really don't give a shit about any of that stuff. All I want to do is I don't even care who knows that I'm working on Ulti or created Ulti. A lot of my friends, I don't even talk to them about it. I'm trying to automate and outsource as much as I can. So find good partners that do marketing and whatnot. So I'm trying to see how far I can take Ulti without having 50 employees or something like that. But yeah, it's fun how starting a company teaches you a lot about what you actually care about.
So sure. It's very interesting because, again, talking to both CEOs, I mean, at the end of the day, this company is, I guess, as they say, your baby, and everybody has their own differences with it. Now, we do know the one from Freshen Up, he did have a hard time getting through the quarantine, ended up going through with vitamin D and such. And just from there, everybody has their own dreams, their own goals, and he does it full time. I know this is a side project for you that you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just fun seeing that, I guess, that dream, that adventure, because I mean, people have asked us before if me and Teach would ever start an energy drink company. And well, first off, that would make the podcast biased by default. Mm-hmm. And two, it would just take away from just talking to people like yourself, people like Jordan, other creators that have gone on the show, and, just trying more products. And one thing that's just kind of been a personal goal of mine is if we could convince a company or like we've convinced people to try other brands to try to break that shell. It's like, hey, this flavor, this company that's your favorite, they don't have this flavor. Try this brand. They go, oh my God, I've missed this. Or, hey, I want something that's formulated better. Hey, I don't want I want to consume less dyes. Armad, who's currently working, he's trying to consume less dyes, so he's happy that Freshen Up and your company eventually will have no dyes in it.
Yeah.
So Chuck, just to dig a little deeper, and it's perfectly okay to say no comment to this, not a hard one. But you said you guys are coming out with hydration formula. Is there any other info you can speak about that? Maybe the ingredients or the tub sizing or any bit, or just no comment either way?
Yeah. So there's something I don't like about all the hydration formulas on the market today. So if you have a hydration formula, think about maybe what you're doing with it. So typically maybe you're drinking it at night when you're gaming and you don't want to have more caffeine, you'll take one of those. But the hydration formulas, they're formulated for a different purpose. Like they're formulated with like zinc and magnesium and some salt. Like it's formulated with all these things that are supposed to help with like a daily hydration. So for people to put them always have them in tubs, it kind of makes no sense, because when you're doing a lot of these activities where you need to worry about hydration, a lot of times you're outside being active, you're on the go. So with our hydration formula, instead of tubs, we're going to do a bag with stick packs in them, so that you can just put the stick pack and toss it in your bag, take it to work, go on a hike. And so we're not bringing tubs into the hydration world. We're bringing a bag of like 30 stick packs, and we're going to do we're thinking about a bag with 3 flavors in one pack. But the formula is going to be the best out there. It's going to be cool. So if you like liquid IV is a big one, very popular, but their formula is terrible. So it's got sugar in it. It doesn't have a lot of great ingredients. But I went to all the good supplement companies out there, like Ghost, like this company called Core Nutritionals, and looked at how they approach hydration formulas. And then I compared it to everyone in the gaming industry. The gaming industry hydration formulas are generally all bad when you compare to like what the possibilities are. So we like to take the best of what we see in the supplement world and try to bring it into gaming. So that's going to be unique. And then my goal with Ulti is I'd love to get enough balls to like do my own daily stream when I go to the gym and do like a gym stream every day. I'm there for 2 hours a day. And I thought maybe that would be interesting. Maybe it wouldn't, but I'd like to grow it into like a full supplement line eventually. So creatine, daily vitamins, greens, protein. So I like kind of do the reverse of Ghost. Ghost was a supplement company that's dipping the toes into gaming, and now they're kicking everyone's ass in everything in the energy drink market. They've got phase. I'm trying to do that in reverse. To say like I'm gonna go into gaming and then bring that health and wellness aspect to it as well. So meal replacement. You got Control out there. They're the only ones doing it right now. I guarantee you some of these other companies are thinking about a meal replacement for gamers as well. The problem with protein is that it's always going to be your lowest profit margin of any supplement company. They make the least on protein, but it's also the thing that's the stickiest. So if someone takes your daily protein, they're taking it every day, you're going to get some brand loyalty if they love it that much. So it's okay to not make a lot of money on protein.
Absolutely. That was actually the one thing I was thinking of, because there's some people I know that have been taking the same protein shake since like the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So you got these middle-aged men just being like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with this big ass tub right here.
Or the guys that go to Walmart and get a new tub of C4 or Redcon Total War.
Don't get me started, Chuck. Don't get me started.
Chuck, every time that I try a C4 can, when I just see, he just kind of shakes his head at me and he goes, "You disappoint me."
Yeah.
I will just say,
if I have a can, it'll be Ghost, because they're the only ones that like really bring it. It's hard to bring a good formula into the can world because a lot of the ingredients just don't work. Like it's tough. So most of the time you just get caffeine, and then you get a fairy dust sprinkling of the taurine and the aminos that they brag about. But Ghost was the first one to like really bring a real formula into canned energy. So I got tons of respect though.
The one thing I would do, Chuck, if you want to compare ingredients, I would say definitely go freshen up there, because I mean I think they basically, as far as like the energy drink where it doesn't go into pre-workout, I mean every form is gonna be personal preference, but they seem to got it down. And again, my thought is, when you look at this company that's just starting off as just like this small puddle, and it's eventually going to turn into what you hope an ocean. The sky's the limit there, and I'm actually really excited to keep trying these new hydration formulas, because again, some are too sweet, some have too much artificial sugar, some have just different tweaks to it. So I mean, on your end, when it comes to that hydration that comes out, you said it's gonna be one flavor, right?
No, we're gonna do at least three, and so that streamer that I'm partnering with, this is gonna also be based on what he likes. So I'm gonna at least do three, and then maybe one of his own if he wants. We're still working on that.
But so ingredient wise, what are you using for sweetener? Only one, I imagine.
Oh, on the
if you care to share.
So on the hydration form, I'm not sure, but on a normal product, it's sucralose. It's kind of the least bad sweetener. So you need things to taste good, so you're going to have to get some sort of sweetener in there.
Understood.
And sucralose is the least bad one. So there's not a lot in the flavor profile. Like when you go and you look at the back of a label and you add up the weight of all the ingredients, but then you see that like the actual scoop size is different than that weight. The extra stuff in there is a lot of the stuff that is, or the extra weight is the stuff in that additional other ingredients tab. And so that a lot of that will be like the flavoring profile, or that's what they'll put a little bit of sucralose. And they don't usually, that's kind of the proprietary part of it, is so they won't list out those other ingredients, because they're all listed by weight. So those are the ones that are such a small amount that they don't put them on the actual label. But Freshen Up, it was funny. I was looking at them, and I thought that they were one that was self-manufactured, and I just finally saw it. I've been following them for a long time.
You have?
Yeah, I stalk everyone. I have a problem with it.
So you've known Freshen Up? Have you tried them?
No, I've never tried them, but I could tell he was self-manufactured because his label is not FDA compliant, and it's that is like, there's nothing wrong with that. You can go, but you never know what someone's doing like that, because there are no regulations into how he makes his product. You don't know if the product's coming out the same every single time. Every batch is the same. Like when you go into a true manufacturing facility and you see all the steps in their process, they're all there for a reason. So yeah, they've got a low price product, and they're churning out flavors really fast, because they don't have to go and buy 5,000 of a new flavor. They can go and make a couple hundred if they want, but you also just don't know what he's doing. Like, you don't know if he's literally got a setup in his basement where he's blending the ingredients together and buying them straight from China and mixing them up in a blender. Like you don't know. So that's where it may or may not matter, but it depends on
maybe chance where maybe we could get the both of you on the show and basically CEO and CEO dish the dirt.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't know if he would want to share exactly how he makes the product. It says self-manufactured, and to do
he's a fan of the show, man. We've had him on.
Yeah, I followed him on social for a long time. Some of my partners will go and join his company.
Really, check your phone. So, Chuck, because I know your father and, everything, we all got a time constraint. Typically, at the last part, anytime we have an interview and have a guest appearance, we always love, if they have any questions for us or anything about the show, anything at all. If not, that's okay. Because I know your father, don't want to take up all your time, whatnot, and already 2.5 in.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I got thankful for DoorDash, so all my kids have already eaten.
Okay.
So I guess 10 Curl says, what's the point of New Level? Well, you'd probably be the best one to answer this question.
Yeah. The point of it is, so what's really cool about New Level is you can go read the actual studies. So if you just Google New Level, it'll take you to the university studies where it's showing exactly why you care. And so what it is, it's the only one that's been tested on esport athletes, and it improves cognition, it improves reaction time, and then quick decision making as well. So if you're looking for like a gaming nootropic, New Level's been proven to really give you all the things you want in gaming.
And that, do you think that's the best ingredient on the market, or do you think that's just the most common one?
Ooh, that's a tough one. And then in the nootropic world, I don't know. It is a really good ingredient, but there's a lot of stuff that's really good out there. I mean, you could almost say that like L-theanine is just as important, because L-theanine can, like, people hate the crash from caffeine where you get a big boost and then you just hit the wall. Like L-theanine is what like calms your caffeine high, and it prolongs it, and it has a nice smooth tapering off. So L-theanine is an incredible ingredient. New Level's great. A lot of these mood enhancing ingredients are good. Even like tyrosine is really popular. You'll see that in a lot of drinks. It's also a cheap, inexpensive ingredient. That's why you'll always see like 1,000 milligrams of tyrosine, because it doesn't cost very much, but it has good benefits too. Choline is incredible too. So I don't know which would be my favorite. New Level's great for gaming. Sometimes you don't know, like you in running a company like this, and you meet with a lot of people that don't know as much about you, don't know as much about all this stuff regarding formulas and whatnot that you do, and they don't really care about the formula stuff. So they don't. So it has New Level in it. I paid a lot of money to get New Level in there, but most people don't even care or know what it does. So
heck, we've only seen. I mean, it's amazing what people have put in them as a regular basis. I know Advanced GG doesn't do it anymore, but Juju still does. If you ever wonder if you've ever put Juju in a plastic shaker, when you finish it, it has that crystallized hardness to it. So apparently that's the eye health ingredient. Yeah. Now it's so weird because the blue light science people have always tried to up it. They got it in Juju. That seems to be the only drink at the moment. They have eye drops for it. They have supplements for it. And there's this chick that was actually selling blue light sunscreen. And apparently that was like the biggest gimmick of it all. And she sold a good amount, which that is absolutely hysterical. Like, imagine just saying like, oh my God, I'm in front of the TV, I'm going to get sunburnt.
I'm trying to look up what that thing is, because I considered it, but it's a tough ingredient.
To be honest with you, I'll say this for a guy that's tried a decent amount of it, and I've owned multiple tubs, just freaking buy blue light glasses. The only reason I don't wear them on the show, I usually, every time I'm like gaming or anytime I'm on the laptop for a while, I wear them. But when you're on screen and you got the reflection, everyone's kind of looking at your glasses the whole time. It's a little much. I stopped wearing them on the show a long time ago.
yeah, it's a lutein is what it is. It's like, so Juju is another one that has like plant-based products in it. Like plant-based products, like some of the mushrooms products, they're really tough to get a good flavor. Juju has like black pepper in it. I'm like, why do you have black pepper in it? You can kind of taste the pepper in there.
I wondered that as well, especially since when it gets a little bit older, some formulas, they have a expiration date, and it's just like, I don't care, as long as it's not clumpy, it's good. I've noticed that when the Juju formula gets a little older, it doesn't get stale, but it gets a little more earthy, and the ingredients, I'm not sure what happens, but it kind of falls flat and it gets earthy. I noticed that today, actually, because that Blue Raz is actually my #1 favorite.
Oh yeah.
Just simply because of the candy effect, but after it sits there for too long, it gets clumped up, it loses its effect. I actually kind of got the same vibe from your formula. Just I'm not sure if it was, but yeah, it definitely gave me the Juju vibes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how. I mean, when you said that this is a third-party manufacturing to a point, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How many companies do they produce? Do you know?
I know their biggest one is First Form. I don't know if you've heard of them. I actually went to high school with the guys that started First Form. Andy
Oh,
and Sal
damn.
Fusella. Yeah, we graduated together. So they're here in St. Louis. So yeah, they do a lot of that. They do like Core Nutritionals, is that another supplement brand that has great formulas that I look up a lot. They used to do one of their products, but primarily they're doing a lot of First Form work now. First Form
Isn't
is
Gamer Supps from there?
from
The same place?
no, I've never seen. No, they've got like you walk in, they've got all the tubs of everything they manufacture up on the wall. There's no other gaming nootropic there. I'm not
The only
sure.
reason I
Gamer
ask
Subs
is there's a lot of energy drink companies that ship from Missouri.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that Gamer Supps and Juju ship from Missouri.
That's interesting. I don't know where. I always thought Gamer Subs was East Coast, Northeast, but I see.
The only East Coast ones I know is G Fuel and Glitch, and Glitches I know is from Florida.
Yeah. Oh, I also have Juggernaut over here. If you've ever heard of them, they're out.
I have not actually.
Have not.
Yeah, they're small, but yeah, they're out of Florida as well. I've got a spreadsheet with like 40 something.
So you literally you've been stalking like all these energy drink companies that have been trying to make yourself stand out. Is this basically correct?
You have to stay informed, and you have to stay up to date, and you have to know where to stand out. He knows what he's doing.
And I stalk them all on social media as well. It's been years, like 4 or 5 years that I've had this idea, and you tell someone you want to start a company, and half the people you tell, they're like, yeah, I want to start this company too, but nobody's got the balls to actually go for it, or like nobody, like everyone has a winning idea, or they got an app idea, but it's so hard to actually go for it. Especially when I knew nothing about e-commerce and I knew nothing about anything. I literally just sat down and said, I want to build a company. How do I do it? Like, how do I find a manufacturer? How do I build a website? I didn't even know what Shopify was. So I had money and time, and I wanted to take a shot at building something.
All right.
Respect.
Very much. So outside Lemon Drop, are there any flavors that at least you've brainstormed to release that nobody else has?
Yeah, there's I tried something with guava. Guava is it's like a strawberry, it's like a kiwi mixed with something else. It's pretty cool fruit. It was tough to get it to. It smelled a little funny. Like, I'd like to do something with guava and dragon fruit, but you got to mix it with stuff. And so as a standalone, you can't do a guava. So it's finding the things.
There's some people that love guava, but there's one thing I've noticed. It doesn't matter what brand, it doesn't matter what ratio, it doesn't matter what formula. Every single time you take a whiff of guava, it smells like foot.
Yes.
And you cannot convince me otherwise. All guava smells like foot.
Yep.
Although the camera deleted this son of a bitch, but I tried the Celsius guava strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute trash. I drained that son of a bitch in my garden. I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
That was pretty awful, man. Like literally, like guava, I don't mind, but if that's what I knew a foot tasted like, that would be what a foot tastes like.
Yeah, that's what got me too. Is like the smell. I couldn't quite. I'm like, man, I thought it tasted all right.
Only things.
It smells a lot.
And on the note of feet, that is probably a perfect place to end episode 67, because we are almost getting to the 3-hour mark, and that may be our longest episode yet.
This is definitely our longest episode so far. And Chuck, thank you for everything, man. It's just nice because you've kept it real.
Yeah.
Chuck, thank you for your time. Honestly, it was a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for your information. Thank you for the respect. Thank you for giving us the time to have you on our platform. The last little bit is yours before we fully end. What do you got? Like, any last message? Let people know about Ulti, what more they can do, etc. The floor is yours.
Any questions, if you have any, of course.
No, I'm passionate about this industry, so it's cool to see that you guys are too, and you're smart. You know your stuff too, so. I like sharing that mall story with you, so you can just see how tough it is to make it in this industry. Everyone thinks because you have a company that does this that you're making tons and tons of money off of it. People that are making tons of money are the advanced the companies that have been around for 5+ years, or the glitches. You have to have a community and you have to have good products. A lot of people, I've been stalking for 5 years and I've seen companies burn out pretty quick and vanish because they're not built on a strong base. They don't have a good product. They don't treat their people well. But that's it. And Jay, I know you're the freshen up guy. You don't get third-party testing though when you're doing it yourself. It's a big step in that. So it's something to think about. I could introduce you to some manufacturers if you want to talk about benefits of outsourcing that. So, but no, this has been great. I'm going to keep following you guys on Twitter. I like seeing your tweets and try to interact with them as well. And anytime you want me on, I'm happy to tell you what the industry is like. Bree Blair says Madrinas is out of St. Louis. Yes, they are. Madrinas owners came from a lot of money. His dad makes a ton of money. He sponsored soccer teams around here. So sometimes you wonder if certain businesses are also a tax write-off for them or a tax shelter. So Madrinas is Alex's dad was tons of money and does some funny things with taxes.
Gold spoon in the mouth, Daddy Layton cigars with $100 bills.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
if only.
Yeah.
And on that note, that is episode 67. Chuck, again, we dearly appreciate your time. Thank you for giving us the time to be on the show. You were very informative. We look forward to seeing more out of Ulti. So,
Yeah,
with
anytime you guys want me back, just let me know.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for giving us something very tasty for tonight. And I'm excited to see the new formula, man. I'm going to be excited to try that cherry limeade. I will say this. Every time I see cherry limeade, I got to try it. There is one brand where I have 3 tubs. Sure enough, I might be giving at least one to a friend. I have one from a new brand on the way. I'm very looking forward to trying that when it releases. You'll hear it from me now. Anytime that there's something new going on, any questions, hit us up anytime. And everybody in the audience, this has been the longest show we've had on record, and it's been an absolute blast. And it's always nice when you have a guest on who you never met before, but is always chill, always passionate about, and you learn something new every single day. We are glad to be here. With that, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay caffeinated. We'll be seeing you, your co-host and guest of Monday Night.